Hello, I'm Ryan Cullen, and welcome to a very exciting event today, the inaugural round of the virtual Super Touring Championship. This is the 2015 season as it continues through into next year, and we're live from Donington Park. Now, with me today is also Keith Barrick. Keith, you've joined us from the side road. You are dedicated to this series. That's how excited you are. Yes. Tell us about your journey and what's going to happen today.
Well, been driving for the last 2 days. I am currently parked at the north part of Lake Superior in Canada, in Sault Ste. Marie, in the parking lot, surrounded by snow with the trailer on. But I've got my computer laptop here in the center console, and I'm looking forward to seeing these cars race for the first time.
I think, aren't we all? And we're also very fascinating this season, Keith, is we're going to have live weather as well. And as it is winter time and it is a British series, all the tracks are going to be held in Britain, the vast majority in England itself, with one at Knock Hill. We are expecting some bad weather this season. Not for this race, though, Keith. As you can see, it is just 24% chance of it raining at 8 o'clock, which is when the race starts. So it's a bit on edge. It might rain, it might not. It's almost a worse situation, actually, because if you know it's going to rain, you can prepare for it. If you know it's dry, you can prepare for that. But this is a little bit in the middle.
It's overcast with a slight possibility of rain.
Yes,
and potential sunshine.
And potential sunshine. So look out for that.
I'm every weatherman everywhere.
Okay, and that is actually British weather anyway. So you get away with doing that. You'll be very well employed in Britain.
Very.
Right. So that's the weather forecast for you. We've got 24% right across the event, as you can see, right from 8 until 10 p.m. And now these are the cars that are going to be competing in the championship also as well. Classic cars from the British Touring Car Series in the mid-90s. Alfa Romeo 155, championship winning car, of course. The A4, another championship winning car. The Mondeo won the World Championship, the World Cup, in the hands of Radicic. Another championship winning car there with the Mondeo in the hands of Alain Menu. And then the Honda, very successful Honda. The two very successful Hondas that were raced during the late 90s. Nissan Primera, the old conquering 1999. Lauren Aiello drove that car. And Tim Harvey famously drove this car. Not very good in real life, unfortunately. Very good in real life was the Renault Laguna in the hands of people like Plato and Menu. Most favourite, the 850, iconic also as well, as was the S40 winning the championship that we are emulating the 1998 season. 1995 winning car there of the of John Cleland, and the Vectra, which wasn't quite as successful as the Cavalier. But those are the cars, Keith. Any particular car you're looking forward to seeing on track?
I probably would say that the Mondeo is nice to see. When I was a kid, this was the British Touring Car Championship was aired in Canada, and I remember watching it with my dad. And you just didn't see that kind of racing around Canada or North America, and other than the Trans Am series. But you're talking two different worlds. Trans Am being big heavy cars with rear wheel drive, very little traction, and then you're dealing with lower horsepower, really close racing. And the Mondeo and probably the Primera, because it was just such a dominating car. It just kind of sticks in my head.
Absolutely. This is the season after the one we're kind of emulating here. These are the 8 tracks we're running this season. These are the 8 tracks that were run during the 1998 season. If we were to fully simulate the 1998 season, we'd be here forever, Keith, because there was 13 rounds. We have taken out the duplicate tracks. We go from Donington Park, the national layout here, to Alton Park, the Foster's layout, which is almost just a square, Keith. So looking forward to that. It should be very boring to drive, but very, very fun to race on before. Then we go to Croft and Snetterton, the old layout at Snetterton, not the new one, the one that was running up until around about 2009. Then off the classic Thruxton, and of course then the likely to be wet Knock Hill. It's either going to be really foggy or really wet at this time of year. And then we go to Brands Hatch, and then we finish off at Silverstone International layout. So plenty of nostalgia for you all. The drivers are now out on track, Keith, and it's been Toby Davis has been setting the pace in pre-practice, and he won pre-qualifying as well, Keith. So surely he starts this season as favourite.
Yeah, I mean Toby's obviously a fan favorite. Well, just he's always up near the front. But it's going to be a little different to see because we haven't seen anyone perform in these cars on a racing basis. But the usual players you will be seeing up at the front. But we do have some new names that are there to challenge, and I'm really looking forward to seeing a little variety, if that's something I can say. But Toby's always wanted to be up at the front. It's any series he enters, he puts in the work. He's got the talent, and he's able to put the car right near the front. But I would expect to see him doing his typical performances.
Yes, well, unfortunately, his typical performances involve win or bust lately in the virtual touring masters, unfortunately. So hopefully it won't be the case for him. The last time he competed in a front-wheel drive championship at the Touring Pro Series was in the Tom Onslow Cole Clio Series, where he was the closest challenger to Jack Keithy for that title. And of course, then he also won the virtual Clio Season 3 championship, much to my chagrin. And so he's improved massively in front-wheel drive over the years. I remember when he actually won the first race in Touring Pro Series in front-wheel drive, and you think, oh yeah, actually he was quite good in front-wheel drive. He was not. It was almost a lucky win in the opening race of that, and it took him a year or so to get good at front-wheel drive, and ever since then he's never looked back and been one of the best drivers in said cars. And he's going to cross the line now for his first flying lap, and that's a 10.914 to open with. He'll be very pleased with that. That's a really good lap time. Remember, it's super pole here today, so you cannot set more than one flying lap. If you do, you are disqualified from the race, unfortunately. So everybody will be going back to the pits after doing their opening flying lap, and Davis, he'll be very happy with that 10.914. It's not far off his personal best, Keith.
No, it's fantastic lap. Lauritsen stepped up too and put it down. Super pole is always a little tricky because, again, there's no room for error. You know, this is something that I was familiar with running in the ATCC, which was a lot of fun to do. The super pole is, do you push to get that lap, or putting yourself at risk, and say you clip a curb or an anti-cut, and then put yourself, say, 10th, 11th, 12th when you know you have the pace to be first, second, or third. So it's always a calculated risk, especially first race. But Toby put it down.
He did, and the walk racing guys are all waiting for later in the session, Keith. How did you used to approach a Super Pole? Because back in ATCC days, it was
right to the end.
Right to the end, get all the attention.
Well, no, not just the tension, but also the air temperature goes up as well. And the track will get a little bit hotter also with the more people that drive, so you're going to get a little more grip. Because I always felt you just couldn't quite get the tires to optimal temperature.
Of course, what if it rains? Look at those clouds.
Oh dear.
Yeah, look at those clouds. Look, what if it rains? So you make sure you go out early, Keith.
Oh, we know all about rain, Ryan. In ATCC, it was not a.
I don't know what you mean.
A little bit shady, and you can go and view some of the antics from ATCC with weather, Super Pole, Insanity, future F1 stars. But yeah, I mean, Toby and Alex sitting up front, solid laps. The Super Pole generally goes by fairly quickly just because of the fact that they do get one lap. There is always a little bit of strategy behind when you go out, and you just mentioned that. But we're going to see a couple more guys get out here and get some laps in and see if anyone can dethrone Toby Davis and Alexander Lauritsen from the top two.
And the beautiful skin here is Stefan Kosselbeck. He was the last of the qualifiers in pre-qualifying. He was 36th in the pre-qualifying. You had to get in the top 36 out of the around about 45 to 50 who took part in pre-qualifying, and Kossenbeck was the one who got in last, and therefore he's able to race this beautiful livery, the VXR Tribute livery on the Vectra from the later generation of Vectras, and Kossenbeck's going to start his flying lap here. Let's check in with some of the front runners, or likely to be front runners, should I say. McNaughton's out on track now. Here is Gazella, and they're known as the Walk Racing Mafia for this season, Keith. All black cars with tinted windows. Not quite sure what to make of that.
Yeah, forget about it.
Forget about it.
He's
a quarter of a second up on Toby Davis in that first sector. That's a fantastic effort so far from Gazella. Gazella here going for his first Touring Pro Series pole. He has competed in the Touring Pro Series before, back in a virtual mini challenge, just a handful of races. So looking forward to seeing what he can do here.
Looks good. I kind of like the black. Very, very professional.
Very professional. I'm not quite sure that I agree with that, but
like
there we
it.
go. And he's still 2/10 up, so he just needs to make sure he executes this hairpin beautifully. Well, this chicane beautifully. It is a hairpin going the other direction. And now Gazella is going to come straight to the line, hugging the inside, and across the line he goes. And no, he didn't. So fantastic final sector from Davis, and Gazella is third. Malizewski is fifth. He'll be very, very happy with that. And that's a turn up for the Bucks. Who else is out on track? I saw one of the other walk racing mafia. There was Sven de Vries, he's going out. It was Giuseppe Ranieri I saw out on track. No, it wasn't Giuseppe Ranieri, it was McNaughton, sorry. Here we are, and he's up as well. So obviously Davis struggling through that first sector.
Well, and you know it's funny because you'd think that in the first sector you wouldn't be as tentative there as you would in the final sector because the anti-cuts in the final chicane. I'm a little surprised at that, but maybe Davis made a small mistake we didn't see. But if McNaughton can get this final sector down, because he seems to be
he missed the apex at Coppice. So I think there may be a bit of an issue for him there because there you can see he's lost all that time that he was up. But looking very strong at the moment. Just needs to match Toby Davis's final sector here to go into the top 2 rows. Fifth. Just misses out in behind John Monroe.
De Vries on track. De Vries is still on track.
Do indeed. So De Vries, and we've also got Ranieri out on track as well. So where is Ranieri? There is Ranieri, and there is De Vries ahead of him. So we'll watch De Vries first of all. De Vries is now coming down to start his one and only hot lap for this event.
And Sven has showed some great promise in TPS, and he showed some speed, but. If he can nail this first sector and hold it together in the final, he possibly could take Toby down because he really didn't get it all out there in that one lap.
Seems to be that way. Now on board with De Vries as we go down the fantastic and spectacular Craner curves here, and I really do miss driving this track, especially down that particular section anyway. And it really is one of the drivers' favourite tracks at this also. Well, great start to the season. He now heads up the hill. He's not up on Toby Davis in that first sector, which is not a good omen for him because Ranieri is up on Toby Davis in that first sector, and it seems that the front runners can be up on Toby Davis. So Sven is lagging behind at the moment. What can he do in the rest of the lap? But it seems that Toby Davis' middle sector is fine and his final sector is fantastic. So looking difficult here for De Vries to be beating Toby Davis to this inaugural pole of the virtual Super Tourers. Down towards the braking zone he comes. He's 4/10 off the moment, so let's check in with Ranieri and we'll keep an eye on where De Vries ends up. Ranieri is up, so he's got a chance. He's pushing hard as well. Look at that. Out of shape heading into the chicane, Keith.
Oh, this is going to be close, but I don't know. Davis really had a good last sector. Can he take the pole away? Yes, he does it! He does it! 16/100ths of a second. Giuseppe Ranieri goes to pole and Davis back to second.
Not just that, Keith. 16,000ths.
My mistake. Yeah, thousandths. I missing
How close
is
there. That?
That is fantastic, and I know that team manager Karamadaru Andre Bogdan will be jumping for joy in his racing socks.
And Oscar Harwick has not set a lap time here, so he will be at the back of the grid. There isn't time for him to go out and set a lap now.
Maybe. Well, I wonder what his strategy is here. Do you think it's mind games?
Maybe he made a mistake on his lap and he crashed out. Let's have a look to see if he even set a lap. He did go out to set a lap and crashed on his lap, or made a big mistake and went back to the pits. So disaster there for Harwick. He will qualify 34th and last for this race. But Giuseppe Ranieri, on his debut in the Touring Pro Series, Keith, takes pole position ahead of...
That's a nice slow clap for Giuseppe. Well done. Well done.
I'm sure he'll be very, very pleased with that. Known as Pepe.
The top
to
17 are within...
Oh, have we lost you, Keith? We've lost Keith, unfortunately, just for a second. He was about to say, I think, the top 17 were in... within a tenth of each other. Is that what you're trying to say?
8/10 of a second. I apologize. I'm connected through 4G at the moment, and I am parked next to a mall, so there's probably a lot of kids in there with their cell phones.
So here is the grid now. Then we'll run you through that in just a few minutes' time. Back after this little break.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello and welcome back to this broadcast from Donington Park. Also coming up in the Touring Pro Series is the second round of the Virtual Carrera Cup Championship, the 2015, the second season that we've run. Tim Heineman won both races at Barbagallo. You may not be surprised to hear. You would be surprised to hear, however, that he did crash. Well, he span, at least, and went into the gravel in race 2 and still came back and won. That bit is not surprising from the insane Tim Heineman. This is the calendar going forward. We go to Sandown on Saturday the 22nd of November. So make sure you tune into that on twitch.tv. If you are watching on twitch.tv right now, click the follow button, please.
Yes.
That's not a request,
Absolutely.
That's an order.
And also, if you have a smartphone, which 95% of you do, I'm going to say, get the app. Because when it goes live, it will actually send you a notification to your phone, and you will never miss one moment of this action and the commentating stylings of Ryan Callan and myself.
You might not want to install the app then.
Yes, no, I had to throw that in. But no,
we're supposed to be encouraging people, Keith.
Yes, the app is actually fantastic. I'm really impressed with it, and I don't know why we didn't use Twitch sooner. It is very easy, it's very quick, and it's going to provide some good entertainment for the next with the next Sims coming out. Absolutely.
So this is the calendar coming out. This is the calendar coming up, and then the next race in Virtual Super Tours is naturally in 2 weeks' time after this. As you can see, it is from Alton Park. We did show you that earlier. That's on the 3rd of December. So if you enjoy this racing today, which I'm sure we all will, Keith, because it's bound to be a fantastic event.
Well, I mean, just look at this grid we've got here. I mean, Giuseppe, is it Ranieri?
Ranieri, yeah.
Ranieri, on his debut, pole position.
Italian name in the Walk Racing Mafia?
Yes, I know.
On pole position?
Hey,
I'm smelling corruption.
Oh, forget about it.
I'm smelling corruption here.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to have some fun with that because I do quite enjoy Mafia movies. But we have a minute left to get through the grid here, Ryan.
We do. Let's run it through for you then. So Giuseppe Ranieri, on his debut in the Touring Pro Series, takes pole position ahead of Toby Davis, the pre-race favourite. Alexander Lauritsen in 3rd spot. Remember, he's the VSS reigning champion in the Touring Pro Series. Gazella in 4th, with Monroe in 5th. He has a TPS win to his name, of course, remember. Adrian McNaughton is in 6th. It's a good return for him. He's been away for a while. Manaszewski in 7th. We'll be pleased with that. With Olsen in 8th, also he'll be happy with that. And Lewis McGlade. I think that is his first qualifying inside the top 10 in the Touring Pro Series.
Yeah,
in Division 1
very well done to Lewis.
And on his debut also as well, Matthias Bogusz in his independent Laguna. So fantastic work from him. I'm
going to be rooting for the independent.
Rooting for the independent. So Butcher and Wiesman 11th and 12th. They'll be disappointed with that. With Gardner 13th, Richards 14th, Bell and Junt, De Vries and Thomas Hins, Dawatapa in 19th, Carter in 20th. With the rest of the grid being Orban, Straub, Cervic, Allington, Ockerclinth, Amaral, Navarro, Hackerson, Demelin, Kossebek, Weller, Van der Woude, and Oscar Hardwick. With Luis Fernandez also managed just about to make it in there in the final few seconds. We've got 35 cars out on track here today, Keith. This should be absolutely fantastic. Imagine these 35 cars going down to the first corner.
It's going to be epic.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be epic.
Now, as we go into the race session here, drivers are going to be going out on track to start their formation lap. There is Luis Fernandez right at the back. Just want to show you his livery because it is a beautiful livery. Look at that, Keith. That
like
is absolutely fantastic. Designed once again by Marco Felix. In fact, the red livery of his teammate Helder Diaz is even nicer. So looking forward to that being out on track, and he's getting himself ready for this race. The formation lap is just about to start. As you can see, drivers are formed up, and Ranieri is already set off, and he's going to lead this field away. What are your predictions for the start of this race? Toby Davis known for his fast starts.
Well, I mean, we don't exactly know what to expect from Ranieri. We have not seen him race, but we've seen that he can definitely put down a lap when pressure's on. Lauritsen, a very mature driver. I've known him since he first joined up at where we were prior to going in on our own. And but it's hard to say, because there's a lot of talent in behind these front four here that could surprise us. But Toby Davis is always you put faith in him unless there's something that's thrown him off. I like the independent, so I'm going to probably go with who's our independent there? Matthias Bogisch. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, no good. Way. Oh, jeez. Yeah, for those of you who have not heard me commentate, I am very terrible with names, and I apologize. But
let's look back through the field here for you then, and we'll show you some of the liveries also well, so you can pick them out easier. Easy to pick out is this green car of Alexander Lauritsen, of course. And there is Gazella. He's in the other black car. You have to look out for the numbers on the walk racing cars, unfortunately. So 44 is Gazella, 25 is Ranieri, 30 McNaughton. There's Munro, he's a teammate to Toby Davis. He's in the orange car, with Mazepski in the green Mondeo. Here's the YTF1 Volvo 850 of Tobias Olsen. There is Lewis McGlade in the police car. Matthias Bogisch in the very beautiful liveried Laguna of his in the independent. Chris Butcher in red THR with other red THR, Robert Wiesenmuller alongside him. Reese Gardner there in 13th in the Smile Power Honda. Matt Richards in the other Smile Power Honda, the new generation of course. Another Smile Power there is of Mike Bell, and that's the Renault Laguna of course, with another Renault Laguna alongside him, David Yunt. The rest of the field is now forming up. Some drivers just offset, some make sure they get the best start possible. We are about to see the lights go green in just a second here. Oh, and to jump the start there from Ranieri. Has he jumped the start? Will he get a penalty for that, Keith? He did seem to move quite a long way, but stopped it. Will he get a penalty for that? It's going to be very, very close. And Davis now down the inside, of course. Ranieri has gone back to second spot, and that cloud of the Stockholm penalty might be hovering over him also as well. They're going to be side by side
with a great start.
Yeah, they're going to be side by side now down the Crane curves. Munro around the outside of Gazella, and Davis leads from Ranieri. Lauritsen is in third still. Munro good start, as you say, and Olsen good start also as well. He's up to sixth, right in behind Emmanuel Gazella.
Yeah, that's really tough for Giuseppe Ranieri, but he might have stopped it in time, but we'll
it was a small movement, wasn't it? And he was completely stationary when the lights go out. Usually that allows you to get away with that. We'll have to watch out for it, Keith.
Oh, look in the background there.
Of course.
Yeah, John Munro had a great start getting up to the fourth position. Now he's got Gazella just on his right on his back there with Matizewski now just holding off a big train of cars in behind them.
Now down towards Goddard for the first time. Look at this, in behind, 3 wide almost into the chicane. Oh, Matizewski flying in to the chicane there. No holds barred at all. He left nothing on the table for that. Great start from Chris Butcher. He's gone from 11th to 8th. Robert Wiesenmuller hasn't moved up, and he's in a 3 wide battle right now on the inside there. Is Sven de Vries. Matt Richards also pressuring him there on the inside. Oh, contact! Oh, and it looked like Wiesenmuller almost went off. No, he didn't, but he has lost 3 positions as a result. He will not be a happy bunny at all. Also bad start for Lewis McGlade. He's back from 9th to 15th. And back down the inside goes Wiesenmuller. Leaves no space at all for his teammate David Yunt. No,
none at all. It's very dicey here. The inaugural laps of this series.
Oh, and off the track! Off the track has gone! That is Gazella! Off the track goes Gazella, so he's promised so much, and he's back to 11th with that small mistake. Down the inside goes Wiesenmuller on De Vries and Gazella. He gets a double walk Brucey bonus there. Up to 12th spot he goes. He's fighting back. 11th spot, should I say.
Yeah, this looks, it's a little bit of nerves starting off in this series here. As you can see Gazella drop it back. It's looking very difficult to tell those cars apart there.
Gazella has had contact there. Let's have a quick look at that. And into the pits, I thought I saw one of the... No, it can't have been, because they're all still in formation at the moment. McNaughton dropped back a position, but this is a replay. There's contact there from David Yunt on De Vries, and as a result he contacts Gazella as well and costs Gazella a couple of positions. So David Yunt might find himself in hot water with the stewards after this race. Down the inside now is going Gazella, back on Mike Bell, and he's going to now pursue Dower Tapper up in 15th spot. So it's all action stations in this midfield on side by side. Yunt and Dower Tapper there also as well. McGlade in 13th. There is De Vries, Wiesema the fighter back, and Olsen off the track, and also that's Butcher off the track as well. What has happened to those two guys? It's all action stations in the first few laps, Keith. Mistakes absolutely everywhere. Let's try and find this car of Butcher. He's in the gravel, just stopped. What's happened?
Maybe he wanted to get a like a towel out and just have a nap.
Oh, he's been hit by Olsen. Look, he's been hit by Olsen.
Oh, tough spot there.
And he's out of the race. Fastest lap of the race from Toby Davis. There he is.
And now John Monroe.
John Monroe. Yes, he comes back. 11.165. Everyone's at compound, of course. It's not raining. You can see that. Go to our live timing page, TouringProSeries.com/live timing, all one word, and you'll be able to see if it rains what the percentage of wetness is on and off the racing line. So Davis in control, Keith, and we have lost Giuseppe Ranieri. He's back to 11th. So don't know what's happened to him. Maybe he did need to pit for that stop and go penalty. This would be a roundabout lap. He'd have to do that. So walk racing promised so much, and they've all had issues.
Well, it's a tough go here to start off, but Davis having a good run up front now. Lawrenson, it's THR up at the front. Matizewski having a fantastic run in 4th position, and he's clearing.
And somehow Richards has found himself in 5th.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say that. Richards has found his way up to 5th, and there's a 3-second gap up to Matizewski. And he's not losing the back of those guys up at the front all that quickly at the moment. So a very good start to this series for Samash.
That's THL 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. Not exactly what we wanted to see. One team dominating. It looked like that might not be the case after qualifying, but everyone's made mistakes and THL have kept their head. Yes,
and now Davis goes to a 10.9, which matches his qualifying time in race trim here.
Does that. And this is Wiesema chewing all over the back bumper of Adrian McNaughton. There's a very angry German behind the wheel of that Honda, I feel. Found himself shuffled back in the opening laps. He didn't qualify as well as he hoped. We might see a bit of a charge to the field here from Robert. He's a bit more patient now that he's got back up into that 8th spot. Bogusz having a good run also as well.
That's right,
there he is.
Independent
coming forward. He's in that 6th spot in that beautiful livery. It's great to see that on track.
I don't know if Ranieri did get a penalty or stop and go, because he has not pulled in yet. So I'm gonna say that he didn't get one and he just made a small mistake. Again,
well, it's quite a big mistake, really.
Yeah.
Well, you would probably lose more than 9 seconds, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would if you went to the pits. I don't think he pitted. You would have lost more positions than that at this point in the race.
It seems that maybe that was the case, but it'd be nice to get that cleared up for us. As now Ranieri's lining up Lewis McGlade into the first turn, going to dive down the inside. Lewis won't fight that too much. I think he realises, oh, Ranieri's made a mistake. Off he goes. So it's not worked. Looked like that was a beautiful move, and Ranieri, although he's showing great pace here, is not showing the consistency required.
Needs that composure. The pace is there, but just it's about keeping it together. Now you see the walk racing guys are very close together here. Kazala and Ranieri are now 12th and 14th, very close to each other.
And the only Volvo S40 in the field, Dower Tapper in between them, as De Vries, sorry, that's not De Vries, that's Gazella putting the pressure on Tapper. De Vries is up to 9th spot. McNaughton's the only walk racing driver who's not had an issue, really. De Vries hasn't really either, but he qualified poorly, so he's moving forward at least, as now the field come down Starkey Straight. And looks like there's a move here for Adrian McNaughton on Mateusz Bogusz. Down the outside he goes. Bogusz is defending, making sure he doesn't leave any room there for McNaughton. And McNaughton has to tuck him back in behind, and that means under pressure from Wiesema now.
Yeah, he looks like he's getting a nice run carry the momentum, slip one down the inside, going into turn 1 here. I just don't know if he's going to get close enough.
Oh, it's a dangerous move. He's gone for it. Contact. He's through though. He is through. It's the classic Donington move. And Wiesenmüller has been very good on the brakes in pre-season practice. One of the main strengths of him.
Yeah, so that, well, McNaughton was having a good run here. The walk racing guys seem to be struggling just a bit here. Just having the startup pace that's needed to kind of get ahead when things start to span out here.
Yeah, and Bogusz is now under pressure from Wiesenmüller, who goes down the inside here as Bogusz misses the apex at McLean's. Now he's got the inside into Koppis. Will he make it stick here? Bogusz is racing hard, but it's all nice and fair at the moment. There's contact on the outside. Wiesenmüller just squeezing through and off the track there. Oh, that's Tomasz Demelin who's come to grief somewhere. What on earth has happened to him? He's just crawling back to the pits after contact, but Wiesenmüller is through. What do you think of that move, Keith? It looks a bit forceful.
Yeah, you see, but Wiesenmüller did get put off early, and who was it that got into the back of him?
I'm not quite sure. It was back in the I think it was Richards perhaps back when they were fighting out of Redgate.
Then perhaps he's got his sights set on Richards. That's it. Usually when you see something, you get a little bit hot, and Robert can get like that in a race situation. You kind of see red, and
so who's
down Richards.
So who's Brad Keselowski and who's Jeff Gordon in this situation?
That's funny. Oh, I thought I saw someone off. That was just my screen. So status quo right now, Monroe has gotten ahead of Lauritsen.
He has, yeah, that's true.
Medezevsky is holding that 3-second gap over Richards, which is a phenomenal feat right now for him, running in the 4th position. So THR 1, 2, 3, and 4.
A couple of years ago, 18 months ago, it seemed that Medezevsky was going to be, he was going to be a regular podium runner, but it hasn't quite happened for him. He hasn't got a podium yet, but it seems the pace he's got in this championship, anything could happen for him. But a feature race, remember, coming up after this one, which is going to be twice the length of this race, 38 laps as opposed to the 19 for this one, which we're now halfway through almost this particular race. And there's pit stops involved as well, so all kinds of complications and all kinds of situation scenarios that can come up. So people can pit whenever they like in the middle third of the race, so plenty of strategies could be at play. Anything botched pit stops, anything, Keith?
Yes, I know, and I was just going to say, we've seen John Monroe do too many botched pit stops in the last little while.
Oh, what on earth is that? De Vries right into the back of Bogusz, who did fantastically well to hold on to that. Goodness me. I think De Vries did well also to get out of the throttle and make sure he didn't give Bogusz any more of a push. That was scary stuff. Let's watch that on the replay again, Keith. Going down into Craner Curbs. He looks like he thinks he has an overlap, perhaps. Oh, he does have an overlap. Indeed, he does. Oh, it's not enough of one, though. Oh,
no, not enough
there.
Scary
moment.
It's too fast of a corner to be trying that there. It's a really hairy spot to be trying that.
It is really hairy spot to be trying that. It was scary stuff. And out of the race, as we say, was Chris Butcher taken out, it looked like, by Tobias Olsen. Olsen himself has recovered to 22nd spot, as you can see, as we scroll through the rest of the field here for you. That's a top 32. Top 20 score points, so up to Ben Hackerson at the moment. Hardwick has come from 34th on the grid up to 21st, and Luis Fernandez has come from 35th on the grid to 25th. So good progress from both of those guys. Weller on his debut in the Touring Pro Series is struggling a little bit, back there in 31st. Navarro in the points.
Just to note, Ranieri did make a drive-through because it shows on the pit stop. So
we did make a drive-through, so that's a good recovery, really.
Yes.
But he's not made much progress since. He's kind of been a bit stuck.
Yeah, it's really tough because once you get spread out and the distance gets opened up, it's really hard. Like I said, the top 14 were within 0.8 of a second. So
yeah, and it's in a Super Bowl as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really tough, but. The gap is still remaining exactly at 3 seconds between Medezevsky and Richards.
The gap is closing between Davis and Monroe. Look, that's 1 second now. It was 1.7, so look out for that. Davis had a poor lap, 11.6 on that lap. Monroe taking full advantage, and he's down to 0.8, look. 11.1 there from Davis on that lap. Monroe is flying, Keith. Go back to the lead of the race then. There is one point with Davis looking back at Monroe. He's got Lauritsen right in behind him as well, so he has to push hard, else Lauritsen will be right past him.
Yeah, this this is going to be interesting. John Monroe has really kind of come around with his just overall racecraft right to the end, and that's a big thing that shows here.
Ball with Lauritsen looking at John Monroe up ahead of us.
So menacing.
I think Lauritsen's been a bit patient here. He knows he's gaining on the leader here. We lost a tenth in that middle sector to Davis, but he's starting to get a sniff of that slipstream, Keith. Is Monroe? No doubt about that.
Just a little bit, yeah. And I think Lauritsen is wise enough to know that if he'd be smarter to stay behind John Monroe and catch up to Davis, because then he has a chance for the win. It's classic racecraft. You can go now if you're close, but then it's basically you lose that opportunity to go for that race win.
Yeah, and we've just seen a pass here for 5th spot. Wiesenmuller has caught up to Matt Richards, and he has passed him, and here is how he did it. Into the braking zone for Goddard. Oh, goodness me, what a move that was. Almost like Richards led him through, in fact, actually. Perhaps feeling a bit guilty about that earlier race contact. Back to live action. Wiesenmuller now up to 5th then. He'll be pleased with that recovery, I would presume.
Yeah, and he's gone by Richards, no incident.
I think Richards was a bit scared, to be honest. A third, 3.3 seconds now up to Madizewski. Let's see what Wiesenmuller can do. Oh, his contact again. Wiesenmuller will be hopping mad with Matt Richards after this race. I have absolutely no doubt. In the background, De Vries has got past Bogus, but Bogus is fighting back. Also in the background, we've got more cars. Oh, contact between, that's Junt and McNaughton. Not exactly a nice mannered here. It's a bit of bad tempered, isn't it, Keith? People are not exactly giving each other much room.
Well, look, as the Smile Racing car has a nice V in the front of it.
And McGlade around the outside. Down the inside here goes Ranieri on McNaughton. One feels that might be flying formation to allow Ranieri to get further to the front of the field. But he's been stuck there for quite a while. Hasn't been able to get past David Junt. And now he's trying to get past McGlade for the second time in this race. Will he do it this time around?
It's through.
It's on the exit is contact as well. That's a bit naughty from Ranieri. Moving across to cover the inside line. These guys have been watching too much BTC from the 1990s as Ranieri uses a bit too much grass down the corner curves. That won't help him in the slightest. He bumps over the curb there, runs wide. He's very raggy.
Lauritsen is through on Monroe. Just thought I'd point out. So my earlier
is through Monroe. Yes, absolutely. So what we talked about, Lauritsen wouldn't make a move. We're not going to say a replay of that, unfortunately. But I don't know what's happened here, but Monroe is not exactly close to Lauritsen, is he? So it looks like maybe Monroe's made a mistake.
Looks like
neither are closer to Davis either.
He's got a bit more pace.
Perhaps that's the case. Lauritsen, very, very quick, of course. Races in real life in the Volkswagen Scirocco R Cup. And Wiesenmuller is gaining on Madizewski. The gap is down to 2.8. Let's see what it is as they cross the line now. It's 2.7. Wiesenmuller's actually going faster than the leader right now. He'll be thinking what might have been had he qualified better. Not had that contact early on as well. Rest of the field here, there it is for you. Let's go back to that battle we saw in mid-pack, Keith, because it was getting very exciting indeed.
That was really, really exciting.
As there we are. De Vries is ahead of Bogus now.
Look, yeah, so this is a little difficult when all the Mafia cars are
all together. It's difficult. Well, for those who are wondering, well, I can see the numbers easily. We can't see the numbers easily because we have to be on a very low resolution for latency purposes to be able to see the numbers on the cars. And so it's quite difficult just to pick out exactly who's ahead of who sometimes when they're all together on track. Could we just separate a little bit, please, guys? We don't like you all being in the same place.
I think we're going to have to make them change their hoods. Difficult. Well, no, because it is that difficult, especially if they're all grouped together.
Looking back from Lewis McGlade, there is Edwin Norton. He's a bit lacklustre in this race, just dripping backwards through the pack slowly but surely, as he has a little look on the inside. Not going to make it happen there. Darragh Tapper right in behind. He's had a very solid run in his first race in the TouringProSeries. He's in 14th spot. Oh, hello. This is how I give him some props. Off the track he goes. And McNaughton now has a run on McGlade down into Redgate Corner. McGlade has a line covered on the inside, but will McNaughton go right around the outside? He won't, because he's gone in far too deep, and off the track he goes. Yeah. That was pretty poor there from McNaughton, I have to say. That was pretty predictable that was going to happen.
So the gap's opened up with Davis and Lauritsen now. Monroe is slowly losing the back of. Oh, no, as I say that, he closes right in. Never mind. Never mind.
It's we've got 80% cloud on track at the moment, but no of the no more words out. Rain, none of the water.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say. None of the H2O coming from the skies.
There's
nice
no
and dry
precipitation.
Still. No precipitation. That's a nice long word. We'll use that.
There's actually quite a bit right here where I am, but nobody's racing right now.
No, that's wise not to do so, considering it is freezing cold temperatures. It's probably quite freezing actually in Derby right now in the United Kingdom, to be honest. So
it would be.
Yeah, probably.
John Monroe looking down the inside, letting Lauritsen know he is there. These guys are just battling here between the two of them. Matejewski's had a very quiet race himself, but he is now allowing Wiesemuller to close in on him. He's now within 1.7 seconds.
Yeah, he's holding serve over Richards, look. The gap is 3 seconds like you were talking about, Keith.
Yes.
But Wiesemuller obviously has a lot more pace than Matejewski, especially at this part of the race.
Yes. Yeah,
Let's see
so
what
I'm just looking at the back here. I'm just seeing the distance between Ranieri and Bogusz, and it just seems to be steady there.
Here's the rest of the field for you. There's Demolin fighting with Cervic. Just gone ahead of him on the track. That's the 26th spot for the minor positions. Olsen's back into the points, look. He's recovering. Harvick up to 18th also as well. So he's recovering through the field. Plenty of bad tempers in this race that we've seen so far. Not too many happy drivers out on track, I don't think. We'll be winning a Nobel Peace Prize, I'm sure of that.
Well, I mean, in BTCC in this era, was there not a lot of fistfights in the pits?
No, there was a lot of fistfights on the track. Bogusz has made a mistake, and Junt has got past him now as well. So Junt is surging forward in this second half of this race. We're on to lap 17, by the way. Just 2 laps to go after this one. Where did that go? I looked at it, was lap 9 a minute ago.
Well, we also have another 38 laps to come up as well, too.
We do, and pit stops involved as well. And
very exciting stuff.
And it might rain.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, shall I make it rain? Just to spice things up.
Callan, it is not. You did not just say let's make it rain.
Why?
Oh, it's just the saying. Never mind. So.
Explain, Keith. People want to know.
It's a term when you're throwing money in the air. Make it rain.
I know what you meant. Hello, Bogusz. He's not. Goodness me. That's it is a non-contact sport. Maybe Bogusz needs to learn that. He's been chopped off a couple of times himself, so that's the thing. Once one person chops somebody off, another person chops another person off because they've had it done to them, and then another person, just exacerbates all the way through the field. Oh, and Ranieri, back down the inside. Oh, and hello, contact off goes Bogusz. Oh. He gets back on. Oh, in contact with Gazella as well. Off goes Ranieri. What on earth is happening here? Ranieri involved in all kinds of contact here at this race. I think he really needs to learn how to drive touring cars.
Yeah, it's need to be a little bit, give a bit of room, because then you'll get it in return. But it's now kind of fanned its way out, these guys here.
Bogusz getting a baptism of fire at the moment, as are the other 2 drivers, really. Oh, and Gazella sideways there. Thank you for that, Keith.
Sorry about that.
It's Ranieri is now up into the arm, and Bogusz is completely rattled. He's going to be allowing Lewis McGlade to go around the outside here. Now have the inside up the hill towards McLean's. And magazine it. McGlade is through. No, he's not. That's not.
Oh.
No, he's not through in the slightest.
Yeah, and it looks like Wiesemuller has not closed up on Matejewski now.
No, he hasn't.
In a little while.
That pass was not as good as magazine. It was more like a newspaper, flimsy. So he's at 11th spot. But McGlade is feisty here. Down the inside he goes once again. The 2 Lagunas into Goddard's. And no, not this time around. Davis is leading by 2 seconds, by the way. This is a final lap, Keith.
Yeah, we're going to give him his due here on the final lap.
Yeah, it's a great performance.
Just a quiet performance here for Mr. Toby Davis. But a job well done. I mean, consistent laps, hasn't turned a wheel wrong, got a good start, and he's rewarded with what will be a race win as long as he can finish this race here without incident.
Yes, we won't count our chickens too early for Toby Davis.
We can't do that.
considering what happened at Trois Rivières in the final lap, where he managed to
Or
leave.
Never mind.
But,
Any
it was
number
the
of
final lap
follies.
at Trois Rivières that comes to mind, because this is the final lap here. So we'll just make sure he gets through this turn here and doesn't run out of fuel, a la Garth Tander. And Davis is going to win the inaugural Virtual Super Touring race. Fantastic performance from him and from THR, because they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the field, with Madizevsky there in 4th, Wiesenmuller in 5th, and there is Richards coming in behind there in 6th spot. The rest of the field is going to come across the line. The line is quite a long way
if
along the straight.
if that is Madizevsky's best finish ever.
I think it probably is. I think 5th spot was his best finish
I
before.
think that's
so
what I was actually just running to check, because I think that's a big deal for him if that is his best result, because I think it was 5th. It's funny how some things stick in my head.
Well, he's never had a podium, so it's at least an equal better lap time.
Yes.
Better position than he's had previously.
Well, that is very good for him. But I mean, it was exciting. This was an exciting race. Don't get me wrong, but
it was a bit bad-tempered, I have to say.
Spread it out. Yes, it did get a little bit heated. You can generally, when you're getting into a new series, first race, tempers are up. You've also, everyone's adrenaline's pumping because it's the first race. Got to get positions, but it is there's 8 races in the season. We got to get to the end of the season, so you don't need to put it all on the table in the first race, in the first half of the first race.
Well, it's almost the first third of the first race, isn't it? Because you've got 38 laps of possible bad-tempered driving coming up in this second race.
Very true.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. It's a little bit cleaner than we saw here. But the problem with Donington as well, it does lend itself to that kind of driving because of the switchbacks you can do all over the circuit. And you end up seeing that kind of contact. Right, we will have a qualifying session coming up for you in just a few minutes' time. Remember, this is an open qualifying session, and they can set as many laps as they like ahead of the feature race.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing, puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number 1 on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello and welcome back to the Virtual Super Tourers. We'll be back with Race 2 in just a few moments' time, so go and make yourself a cup of tea if you're British, or a cup of coffee if you're cultured. Hello and welcome back to Virtual Super Tourist here. We've got qualifying 2 coming up after a very intriguing race first time around, Keith. Plenty of bad tempers in the middle of that one, especially in that battle in the walk racing cars and THR and Bogush and those kind of drivers. Poor Chris Butcher also got nerfed off the track by Tobias Olsen. Fortunately, your first race result doesn't affect your second race grid start, so they got another chance here in qualifying 2. Great win from Toby Davis, dominated throughout. We expected he'd be one of the favourites, but with with Ranieri qualifying on pole position, we thought there might be a bit more of a fight. But of course, that jump start really put pay to that.
Well, we're going to need to see these guys tone the tempers down a bit, get your heads in it. Race 1's over. You don't want to start the season off with a bunch of endorsements just because you got hot-headed, and then you have to race the rest of the season careful. And
yes, leave your endorsements to the last race of the season, then you can use them all up if you're in the title challenge.
But at the end of the day, putting yourself in that position, you taking all your emotion and using it in one race early in the season, you were handicapping yourself for the entire rest of the 7 races that are coming up. So it's not worth it. Just focus, get your composure back, and use pace, and don't jump the starts.
Well, not really. I don't know if the walk racing guys have taken their Mafia nickname to heart, but they were very aggressive in that particular race. Whether that's just because they're not used to driving around the people, because most of them are new to the TPS or inexperienced at TPS, should I say, and new to these kind of cars, especially in Ranieri's case. So I think that did show actually Ranieri's driving. There's mistakes everywhere. Mistakes are punished also at TPS as well. You can't get away with them. Because you will lose 4 or 5 positions, and it compromises the rest of your race as a result.
Very much so, and qualifying is key. And Ranieri did show out pace by taking the super pole position. But here, this is not super pole, so this will allow for people to kind of regroup and put down faster laps. And this kind of feeds into the to Toby Davis, where he will put it all out there every lap, and he's got a banker lap of 111 flat, and now he will push to the very edges of the earth to find a 110.7, 110.7. You heard that, right?
Super pole, 110, yeah, it's good. But we all know what you mean. We love it, Keith, don't worry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm here for comedy relief.
And there you go, Casey, where you predicted it right
there.
No,
we did a 110.7.
You did. 110.7.
Oh, that is too
Toby
funny.
Davis. But that's a fantastic lap.
Oh, it is.
Toby
Yeah.
Davis. He's on fire.
But this is exactly this type of qualifying format feeds into Toby, because he already had a 111 flat, so he knows that he's going to have a solid qualifying position just with that one lap, and now he gets to put it all out there.
Wiesenmüller is a tenth and a bit down on Toby at the moment. But if he can keep that up, the rest of the lap, he should be okay to improve his time currently. And he makes his way through McLean's, now up towards Coppice. Used to be a very big forest, i.e. a coppice, on the outside of this corner. Not quite as big these days. This track, as Rhys Gardner was educating me, we were discussing it the other night, was made from old carriage tracks.
Really?
That used to be delivery for the farms and the communities in these areas in the back of the 1600s. And that was what it was formed from originally. So it's a fascinating track. It really does use the landscape.
So what were they racing in the 1600s?
Not quite sure. Maybe whoever had more horse.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he who had 3 horsepower wins. Yes.
You have 50% more than a guy who had 2 horsepower.
Giuseppe Ranieri is now gone purple in second.
Rhys Gardner at 10.925.
Rhys Gardner.
Wow.
Well done. Well, that's a fantastic lap from Rhys.
We didn't see anything of him in race one.
No, he was super quiet in that race. But we got 2 people gone purple, Giuseppe and Lauritsen. Giuseppe going to be coming up to the final sector. This is where he lost, or this is where Davis was so fast in super pole. Can Ranieri take the pole position from that ridiculous time of 110.7 from Davis? So Ranieri, John Monroe goes to 3rd in behind Rhys Gardner. Ranieri is not ahead at that interval. Where is he going to slot in? That would put him in 2nd place as he crosses the line. He's 5th. So we had a very, very terrible final sector there.
He ran very deep.
Yes, Gazella goes to 4th. or he's in 4th, and he's now up again on this lap. Lauritsen is purple as well. This is the exciting part about a non-super pole, is that these things happen. Lauritsen for 4th. So Monroe 3rd with a 9. Reese Gardiner in 2nd with a 1:10.9.
On the second row. On the first row, should I say?
It would have put him in 2nd place in the first in Super Pole if he did that lap. So well done to Reese. Gazella is purple as he comes down to the final chicane here. He's lost a ton of time in the 2nd sector, so he's going to probably bin that lap.
Down to 8th. Wiesmuller's down to 8th. And Richard's gone 5th now ahead of Gazella. Gazella has to improve here. Will he improve? No, he doesn't improve.
Oscar Hardwick woke up. Oscar Hardwick is alive. He has put in a lap. He's at 11-3.
There he is, number 42, Nissan Pereira.
We had sent out the search because we had not set a lap in qualifying there.
And he obviously messed up on his Super Pole lap. He didn't get to set the lap time. Yes. So now he set a lap time. De Vries goes 11th. He qualified poorly in the first qualifying section. Look who's better than that. Here goes Butcher into 8th. This is what happens in these kind of qualifying sections.
I love
times
it.
Come thick and fast. Oh my God, I can't say that word.
Thick and fast. It's like a 10.7. Thick
and fast. So Davis is on pole position by some 2/10 at the moment. I think he might just sit there and admire his time.
Well, when he watches this broadcast, he's gonna thoroughly laugh about that 10.7 comment, and then he nails the time. And it was just purely
it's TPS favoritism, Keith. You clearly give him the hack. Just
as
he was about to
a 10.7, he wouldn't finish the race till tomorrow.
So Reese Gardner now is going to start his flying lap for the final time.
I know I don't mean to be. I'm a little impartial. I've known Reese for a very long time. He's been a big part of helping me with organization in my early days of organizing the American Touring Car Championship. It's nice to see. I know he's had struggles with the racing as of late and connection issues, obviously, coming from Australia. But it's nice to see him get a good quality time here.
You know, you've been saying that for about 6 months, Keith.
I know I have
had any connection issues for about 6 months now.
Yes, I know, and I'm going to continue because he hasn't had them, right? So
okay, because he keep saying it, and then he'll be okay, right?
Yes, Giuseppe Ranieri is gone purple in
the first sector. In the first sector, yeah. So we're going to hop on with him. He's not purple in the second sector, quite clearly, but he's not far off. He's running very deep into that chicane. It looks like that's. Well, but Davis is being so quick through there.
How much time is he going to lose here? Can he get into the top 5? Will he do it? Yes, he's into 4th, and he bumps Lauritsen back by a very slim margin.
There's 9.66, 9.98, and 9.99.
But look at this. Oh, there's a 9.25, 9.31, 9.66, 9.98, 9.99. So now by John Monroe's gone purple. It still is early though in Sector 1. So Davis really is nailing this final sector.
It's all in this final sector, absolutely. And remember, everyone's getting quite close. They're a little bit behind in the middle sector, so it's a good middle sector from Toby. But that's that final sector, that braking zone, that tricky braking zone. It's got a big bump in the middle of it. The brakes in these cars are difficult because remember, they're front-wheel drive. They're older cars. Remember, they're all 20 years old almost, these cars now. So they don't brake like you expect them to. And a 10th down there from Monroe as he floats his way in through the chicane. Can he get ahead of Gardiner, though? Can he make it a THR orange 1-2 at the front of the grid? No, he stays 3rd, but Wiesmuller's going faster. Let's check in with him.
Very nice.
Purple sector. He's looking like he should improve. He really, really should improve, Robert Wiesmuller, because he's 11.1 at the moment. He can go much faster than that. He's currently 9th, and that is mired in the field, quite frankly, for a driver who was one of the fastest in pre-qualifying, only pipped by 0.005 of a second by Toby Davis, that top spot. And we've got more purples happening, so clearly Toby wasn't that fast through that first sector. Wiesmuller is not far off, just needs a nice solid final corner. Here we go. He could go to the front row here, Keith.
Nah, he's going to have to, he was down a bit.
He's hugging it, he's liking it, he likes it, look, he likes it, he's hugging the inside, it's short to run. He's 7th.
Yeah,
he's
terrible.
7th by... Oh, that's unbelievable.
Gazella's purple, and so is Monroe here on in the closing stages of this qualifying session.
Yeah, Monroe just ahead of Gazella there, so we'll be able to watch both here. Gazella's only 0.003 off. Wiesmuller is 7th. If he improved by a 10th, he'd be 2nd.
Yes. Well, this is just
flag has dropped.
Incredible.
This is the final attempts. Monroe doesn't improve. Gazella does improve. but he doesn't go any further forward. He stays in that went ahead of Giuseppe Ranieri, in fact, so he does improve very slightly there. Ranieri stays in 5th. Lauritsen goes 5th. He just squeaks ahead of Ranieri. Look how close it is. A draft there from Toby Davis. A clear team battle there, because Davis was not on a fast lap at all and gave him a blatant draft. As here comes Richard for his final lap.
Oh, yeah, Richard's only a 10th off at the moment, so this could actually put him
he's
right
driven on the
up
grass
there
on the exit. What is he doing?
Oh, is this going to affect his time? He was looking so good.
Oh,
Richards, no, he didn't improve his time. Oh, he did, just slightly, but it didn't put him.
Yeah, if he had run that grass, he would have probably improved. Maybe 3, 4 positions there.
He could have been second.
I know.
He could have been second. That wheel was second place.
That wheel dropping off, being careless, trying to hug the line too much, was second place. All right,
maybe he saw a quarter on the grass.
Well, whatever it was, I hope it was more than a quarter.
Ah, yeah. Maybe he saw a dollar. We call it a loonie here in Canada.
Maybe a loonie and a toonie, perhaps.
Look at that. He knows the toonie. Well, we should take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll look at these ridiculously close times between 2nd and I think it's back to 18th. It's like half a second.
Well, we'll look at the grid for you in a few minutes' time.
Yep.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number 1 on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
So after that very exciting qualifying session here is the grid for this feature race. Remember, 38 laps, double the action, double the laps. Davis there with that pole position, Keith, a fantastic pole position, an entire 2/10 faster than second spot man Reese Gardiner. That's his best qualifying since Watkins Glen in ATCC season 3.
Yeah.
I think that was, and that was 2011.
Yeah, he took the pole position in the Volvo S40.
S60.
S60. My bad. Yeah. That's a fantastic qualifying for him. But just look at the closeness between second. Just quickly run through, just so we can see how far back. I believe it was half a second between second.
Let's go through the gaps as we go down, shall we, Keith? We've got 0.006 to Monroe, 0.004 to Gazella, 0.023 to Lauritsen, 0.008 to Ranieri. It's testing my maths, this. 0.021 to Richards, 0.016 to Wiesenmuller, 0.053 to Butcher. And then obviously it spreads out ever so slightly after that by only being more than half a tenth of a second, Keith. To Manizewski in 10th spot with 9th spot here. 11th spot here is Mateusz Bogusz with 1.43, and it's even closer back here. Look at this. 0.03, 0.02, less than hundredths of a second. Unbelievable, Keith. Harvick there in 15th ahead of behind Bell. De Vries in 13th again. Not a good qualifying for him, but remember, improved by a 10th. You go about 15 positions. Adrian McNaughton in 16th. Matty Orban, the Hungarian, in 17th. 18th, Matthew Allington. He's in his debut in the Touring Pro Series as well. Not talked too much about him. He's brought his team, YTF1, across. Luis Fernandez in 19th, with McGlade in 20th. Fernandez recovered well in the first race, so interesting to see what he will do from a good starting spot now. McGlade, when he qualified 9th in the first qualifying session, he'll be disappointed with that. There's only about 5 drivers in the 0.4s there, Keith. That's pretty rubbish, isn't it, really? That's spread out. Hinds, Carter, Olsen, and Amaral, the next 2 rows. Only 3 in the 0.5s. Goodness me, they're slacking, Keith. With Tapper, Straub, and Navarro all in the 0.7s. And we got Hackerson and Cervic, with Kosselbeck rounding out the 15th row. And then the two Demolin boys on the 16th row, ahead of Van der Woude, Ockerklinth, and rounding up the field is Tim Weller and his debut with the Touring Pro Series. I'm sure he will improve as the season goes on, no doubt about that. So, fascinating stuff, Keith.
Oh, it's,
incredibly close. What's your
yes.
prediction going to be?
I am predicting possibly a little bit of carnage. I don't ever really like saying
stick your neck out then.
It's just, yeah. No, the problem is that when you get that tight with the way, with the heat, the tempers that were up in the first race, and as close as, look how dark it's getting. Ooh, has anyone checked the weather recently?
Let's have a look.
What's it look like?
We'll bring the weather up for you here. Just give me 1 second, and we'll have a little look, see what we've got here. See for yourselves if I can actually get it to work. Here we go. And it isn't raining at the moment, as you can see from the weather here.
No, it is not raining yet.
But it's gone down to, it's now around about, it's 9 o'clock our time, which is here, and it's 7% chance of rain. So no, it's not going to rain in this, but it is quite dark. So you never know with British weather, do you?
No, and for those of you who from TPS who do have me on Facebook, I just posted a picture of my location and where I am commentating from. I might actually post this up on the TPS just so that for those I don't have on there. It's quite entertaining because you can see the snow in the background, the mall in the background, and the fact that I'm sitting in a truck.
So Keith, dedicated to the course. We are now out on track. They're on the formation lap ahead of this feature race. Keith, you want to take us through what you think of this race?
Well, this is going to be a little more strategic, obviously, but keeping your cool early on so that you can actually good position at the end is going to be key here. Gardner, I'm not too sure of his overall race pace. He definitely has the one lap. The guys in and around him have very, very quick. I mean, you got Monroe, Lawrence, Gazella, Rainieri. I don't know much about the two of those guys, but Richard, Wiesenmuller, Butcher, Manisevsky. So Reese is going to have his work cut out. He's got to get a good start, put his head down, don't make mistakes, don't get pushed around. But if he can't keep that pace, it's really going to change the way that this race plays out if people can't get by him early, if he does not have the race pace. But Gazella, Rainieri definitely need to focus on not making mistakes. Clearly they have one lap pace, but they got to focus on overall. Richards and Mueller once again are close by. They have already had a little bit of their incident early on in race one. Butcher is nowhere near Olsen, so that's a good thing.
Where is Olsen? In fact, he had a great qualifying session, 8th in the first one. He's back in 23rd for this. Ooh, that's a big change around fortune for him.
Yes, absolutely. And who is it also up there at the front? We've got Manisevsky didn't have the best, as good of a qualifying as he did the first time around, so he will have his work cut out getting back up to where he finished in 4th in the first race. So, but really, if Davis can get a good start, I can't see him being beat here.
Looking angling the car across.
Look at that cheeky bugger, eh?
You can't use that word. Oh, and here is Lewis McGlade. He's missed his. He's obviously fallen behind on the formation lap, having to slot back in. Now he's going to be having a very poor start to the race, and also that's number 44. No, it's Hinds back there, number 64 in the Walk Racing car. So we're about to start this race on board with Toby Davis. Look to the left there. Hopefully we won't see a jump start like we saw with Gazella. And away from the grid they go. It's race 2. The feature race is underway. And having to pull out from the field there is Wiesenmuller right in behind Manisevsky. And they're 4 wide back in the pack as they now funnel their way through turn 1. Davis is leading. Tim Stroud is in the pit lane. He's missed the start of the race. Hopefully he can get going once he passes the first up the line. But Davis is leading here from Monroe. And in 3rd spot is Reese Gardner. So he's lost a spot off the grid. Monroe, he looked strong in the first race, didn't quite have the pace to challenge Toby, but he may have a chance in this race. Off the track already, one of the Walk Racing cars, and that was Gazella.
Gazella's down to 6th. Rainieri just in behind him. It's a long race here. Focus, keep your head together. That's the key here.
It is a long race. 38 laps is a long, long way. It really is. And it might be touring car racing, but you're going to have to really think about your strategy here. Would you take fronts or would you take left side tyres this particular track, Keith?
I put reins on the rear.
You put reins in the rear, okay. So
yes.
That's solved that.
Keith, that's Keith logic, right?
Keith logic, that's solved the... that's what we're here for, Keith, for the analytical side of things.
I'd probably go with left side for this track, for sure.
You're a TPS champion, Keith. Your word carries weight.
Oh, no, definitely would go with lefts for this track. Because at this length of race, we're talking this race is better part of an hour here. So definitely, and you know the way that the tires heat up in rFactor, for one, is that if you have, all of a sudden you have full grip in the front and the rear sliding all around, you would cook the rear tires very quickly.
Richard side by side here with Ranieri, who's not giving an inch here. So they have all now sorted themselves out. Off the track there, looked like a THR red car right in the background, or at least a red car. Couldn't quite pick out who it was. I don't think it's a THR red car. They're both up the front of the field at the moment. Butcher there's in 14th, with Wiesenmuller in 9th, fighting with Mateusz Bogusz, who's on the inside once again, giving as good as he's given. And now Wiesenmuller has the overlap on the inside, doing the old John Cleland cut back through Coppice, now down Starkey Straight. Wiesenmuller's on the inside, he's under attack now from De Vries, however. De Vries on the inside. Will Wiesenmuller attack Bogusz? Not really room for that. Oh, he's trying to squeeze in there, there's not much space, and he's hit De Vries as a result. They've all sorted themselves out, at least, anyway. And now 4 wide are going to be coming down the straight. Butcher, Yunt, and Tapper, no, that's Harwick, sorry, has gone ahead of De Vries. So De Vries has been shuffled backwards. Harwick ahead of De Vries. Butcher around the outside of De Vries. Butcher's given a little bit of room there, so that's good race between those two guys. But it started already, Keith, and it's only lap 3 of 38.
Oh, it's, yeah, exactly. And Davis has got some clear air up front, already putting down good laps. But yeah, it's already started. People keep their heads together here, guys. Come on, lap 3. There's only another 36 to go.
Yeah, and now down the inside goes Butcher on De Vries, who loses it on the brakes, and that is costly for De Vries. He's cost himself 2 positions there. He drops back to 13 spots. Munro's taking the lead of the race, though. Munro has taken the lead of the race. Let's see if we can catch that on the replay. No, we cannot, but it's somewhere between Alder Hairpin and McLean's, because Davis was ahead at the first sector line. So Munro leads, Keith. That's a turn up for the Bucks.
That is, very much so. They're gapping a fair bit. Lawrenson's leading that pack, and Reese Gardner is leading, well, pretty well leading. He's got the Mafia on his tail. Oh, down the inside!
Oh, it's not going to happen just there. And now on the inside comes Gazella on Ranieri, tucks back in. So at least the Mafia are nice to each other. Keeping it in the family. You like that one, Keith?
Forget about it.
Stop saying that. You've used that too many times.
I love it.
What does it even mean?
It's Donnie Brasco.
Yeah, if anyone's watched Donnie Brasco, then you'll know, because famous scene. It means everything. It is life. Yeah. And like down the inside now is Gazella. Number 44 on number 4. Down the inside, Richards making sure there's no room. And there is no room.
Very well defended there.
Honda Gen 6 defends from Honda Gen 5. And now Reese Gardner is still holding off Ranieri at the moment. But how long for? Ranieri's looking menacing down the inside. He's slithering. And like a snake, he gets the work done.
Yes, he does. Book it. Ranieri up to 4th position now, in chase of the THR guys.
Sorry, I just wanted to go back to Mateusz Bogusz here, who is in a big battle here with Yunt and a different THR red car this time. Oh, it's Butcher. Oh, he's off. No, he's not. He's held it, but he's going to cost himself about 4 positions here. Will he get back in line? This is the issue. On board with him, looking back now at Mike Bell, but he managed to stay ahead of Mike Bell, but he's lost the position to Yunt and De Vries with that ambitious move, shall we call it, Keith?
He's going to be a very angry Butchie.
Yes, the very angry Butchie, and that is the move. That's actually phenomenal. That wasn't a bigger accident.
Yep, with that amount of cars behind, but thank God for front-wheel drive. And
now on board with Chris Butcher, looking at Sven De Vries, attacking Bogusz, who's been attacked by Yunt. Where is Bogusz? Bogusz is behind us, dropping behind us. Here he is. Oh, on the inside. Hello.
He is getting terrain here.
Adrian McNaughton He just likes to say hello and shake hands as well.
Holy cow, how many positions did he just lose?
I'm not quite sure, but he made a mistake. Look.
Oh, Richards is falling back.
He made a big mistake here, actually, did Bogusz. He was very slow in exit. Jung was there. There was no room for him. And he took out one of the KW banners there, and he lost lots of positions. But Richards, what's happened to Richards? He's back to 15th. Yeah, there he is, right back in behind the pink car, Matthew Allington down the inside, but Norton, no. Not going to happen.
Well, this is very interesting, and Monroe is actually...
Can they keep this up for 38? Well, sorry, Keith. Can they keep it up for 38 laps?
Of course they can.
I might not have a voice left.
It's just a matter of who's going to finish. They
keep doing this. They're all missing the apex at the old hairpin, all following each other down there. Who's that off the track? That must be Mike Bell, going straight across the grass there. Yes, it must have been. And De Vries is now going to round him. And more grass being thrown up and dust down the inside. Allington on Bogusz. This is not a happy part of the track for Bogusz. Bogusz not able to hold the position. Allington musters his way through in that big Volvo 850. One of the cars you don't mess with, it has to be said.
No, you do not mess with the Volvo. Never. Ever.
And now Richards attacking Bogusz as well. Bogusz is showing great pace, but he's just been freight trained. Fastest lap, Lauritsen.
Was Monroe that it was Lauritsen?
It was. Monroe and Lauritsen. They're not as fast as race 1 at the moment. 11.2. Remember, Davis did 10.9. Yes, more fuel. That's absolutely the case.
Come on, Ryan. Keep with it.
Right. Oh, Keith, with the sharpness.
Yeah, John.
You're going to make most of it, right?
Yeah, I got to. Take it where I can get it. Well, this is fantastic. I'm guessing Reese is very comfortable with the car right now, as it is with the fuel in it, because he's running in 5th and very comfortably. He's not losing too much from Ranieri, and he's not being caught by Gazella very much at the moment. So, good spot.
Oh, just as you say that, he ran wide at McLean's.
I'm so sorry, Reese. I'll stop talking about you.
Stop talking about it. The person with no name. Do you remember Ben Crooks? You always used to curse him.
Yes, Ben Crooks. That was in the early days of comment when we first started broadcasting around that time.
Yeah, V8's 2011, I think it was.
Ah, yes.
Or maybe 2012.
Virtual Touring WTM when it was.
Oh, yes, it was. Yes, yeah, Virtual Touring Masters back in season 2. Wow, that's 3 years ago. That.
When I commentated from a hotel room in Toronto after I went to see a Toronto Maple Leafs game. You were deathly ill.
Was I?
You were. Yeah, you didn't make it. It was the first time I had commentated on my own.
Oh, Salzburg Ring, of course. Yes, remember that. Yes, I was deathly ill. Wow. And Wiesenmuller here is trying to recover from that poor qualifying session once again. And a bit of a poor start to the race. He got stuck behind Malizevski, who didn't get away from the line. Speaking of Malizevski, where on earth is he, Keith?
Oh, McNaughton and Bogusz just exchanged positions like 3 times. And Malizevski's having a terrible run here. But McNaughton and Bogusz went back and forth. Norton!
Wow, right in the lock stop sideways. Who is that? He's still going. He's still having an accident. He's still going.
It's only lap 8, boys.
It's got 30 laps to go.
Keep your head, man.
What was all that about? I think he was just by himself almost. Oh no, I think it was contact there from Bogusz. Now back to live. He's defending from Bogusz. Bogusz is the centre of all the action.
Maybe he's just trying to show off here. That's what it sounds.
Well, he's just trying to show his livery off, I think. He's trying to sell it, perhaps. I hope he's not trying to sell the car. No one's going to buy it and say he's leaving it in the moment.
Yes.
But he's back.
His sale.
Yeah, he's back to 18th spot. Unbelievable.
Few minor body scratches.
Few, yes. One careful owner.
Yeah. No, this is quite good. It's very fun to watch this, and it'll be interesting to go through all the tracks through the season, and I look forward to commentating on all of them. Which there's only one for sure I will be missing, and that will be for my wedding.
Yes, unfortunately we are losing Keith.
Yes. From
the free world.
Yes.
He's getting married. Okay. His balls will be in a jar on a month very soon.
No one else wants me. No, but it'll be the season finale, I think, if I look at the dates right. No,
the season finale? What are you talking about?
It isn't. I'm talking rubbish.
Yes, we'll move on for that, shall we?
We'll move on. So, Adrian McNaughton and Bogusz still close. Matizevski is up to 19th. He's slowly making his way up, but after finishing 4th in the first race, and just also to correct, Matizevski he matched his highest finish. He has 2 4th places in his career. He is the 12th highest amount of races in all of the Touring Pro Series. with 108, was it that I said, I think? 108 races?
Could be more than that.
Yeah, it was quite high, but so really hard for him to be this far back after having such a good, promising run of this first round.
Chris Butcher is now the most experienced racer in Touring Pro Series history. He's done more races than anybody else. He's 2 ahead of Jonathan Ockelson's. And Bogusz is into the pits and out of the race. So that's Bogusz done for the night, unfortunately, Keith. That's a big shame.
That's really tough. I also had a thought of how much. What's the difference for tires if you took 4, time-wise?
Well, it wouldn't be worth it because the races don't wear at all, do they? So,
gotcha.
Okay. You've got an extra 12 to 14 seconds on your pit stop,
and when do you have? When is the laps to pit?
Between 13 and 26.
I would, if it was me, I'd pit on the first lap and take fronts, or the first lap that it's open, lap 13, and take fronts, because then they'll wear closer to equally.
Ah, I see.
It'll give you a bit more. It'll give you a bit
25
more
laps on one set of tires.
Yeah, Dave. I was looking at Davis's times. His times didn't fall off all that much at the end of that first race.
Okay.
I think that might be a reasonable way of handling the tire changes, or you go with just left sides. But getting in early allows them to wear equally if you're not seeing much drop off in times from start to finish.
PHR Orange domination at the front at the moment. It's formation flying. We're all doing exactly the same lines as they come through. If Monroe looks slightly wide, so does Davis. This is a demonstration at the moment, Keith.
Very much so. These guys are just flying.
And who can catch them? I mean, Lauritsen and his same team can't catch them at the moment. We know how good he is in front wheel drive. We know how good he is in sim racing.
Yeah, there's so with Lauritsen running third, just hanging off the back. These guys are matching lap for lap here. Giuseppe Rinieri is 3.8 back of these guys who are just not. I don't think they're really challenging at the moment. Reese is still held on very well, and he's at only 5.
Gazello's dropped back in behind Wiesenmuller.
Yes, he has. Oscar Hardwick having a great run after unfortunately not qualifying in the Super Pole setup. So up to 8th position for Oscar Hardwick, followed by Yunt, Butcher, DeVries, and Richards.
Yunt here having a go at Hardwick. Down the inside he goes, a side-by-side off the corner. With side-by-side into crane of curves. Unless Hardwick can get a bit of momentum here. Oh, and Butcher squeezing down the inside and then down to crane of curves here. Well, there's contact! Oh, there's always going to be contact there. Off goes Yunt. Oh. I'm not quite sure if Yunt saw Butcher there. Oh, he's leaping over the grass. Back on the track he comes. Oh, and Butcher is off. And he's in the wall. He's in the wall hard.
No,
Butcher with 2 accidents in 2 races. Poor Chris Butcher. Let's have a look at that on replay again. Oh, that was a big bit of contact. Butcher's on the inside here. Clearly on the inside. Oh, he's got out of shape though before the corner look and driven into the side of Yunt. And that's sent them both sideways.
That's such an ambitious move in that part of the track. I mean, it's
so dangerous.
Hard. It is because you're transitioning. It's off camber, and you're sweeping across to get ready for another corner. So it puts the car in a really, really precarious position. But I mean, like, it's quite a spectacular crash, but it's not what we like to see here.
But Butcher actually got it out. You're obviously trying to avoid Yunt, but at the same time, he got a wheel on the grass. I think. If you just watch that from. There's a wheel on the grass, and that sent him sideways, look.
Well, that escalated
and DeVries. Oh, what a hit. A huge dent in the front of that Peugeot. And he's actually still racing, look.
That really escalated quickly.
Oh, he's got a puncture. He tried to get to the pits, and he hasn't made it into the pits, look, because he had people behind him.
Oh, jeez.
But he has to pit on the slap. If he pits on the slap, at least it'll be a mandatory pit stop. He's got a front right puncture.
And he's off the track. Entire lap.
Going to go the entire lap now. At least he has to make the pit stop. Back at the front of the field, back to the live action here. Lap 13. People can pit from now, so look out for that. Davis down the inside here, and Monroe is making a move. No. Monroe's doing off. Just drives his racing line and carries on.
Holding strong at 2 seconds back. Just got a nice view of these guys. I have a feeling he's going to be closing up slowly, and Ranieri is closing the gap a little bit on Lauritsen. So if I was Ranieri, I'd go for an undercut right now. Well, I guess it isn't going to make a difference because they're not fighting. These guys they're smart. They know how to win. These are TPS champions up here. 3 TPS champions up at the front.
When did John Moreau win a championship?
Race winners. That's what I meant to say.
It's okay, Keith. We all love you still.
But no, the undercut would only really be beneficial if you were in traffic at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't quite see it. They're actually John Monroe's lap was a 1:11.8 there.
That's not good at all.
No, Davis was doing 1:11.5s leading at the end of the race on his own. Huh.
Remember, we're not far off, of course, the end of race 1 in terms of lap times. Lap 14.
Oh, the extra fuel. That's what it is.
Extra fuel, of course, as well, sure.
Trying to figure it out.
There's only a couple of tenths, though, remember, so that's... It's a little bit slow from Monroe. He has been under pressure. That's a beautiful final corner there from Monroe. Pulled a big gap on Davis as they exit the Goddard chicane. In 4th spot still is Giuseppe Ranieri. Bit more of a solid run this time around than the first race.
Yes.
With Rhys Gardner still in 5th, but he has Robert Wiesenmuller gaining on him rapidly at the moment.
Yes, and he's very, very close at the moment.
On board with Wiesenmuller. The German, Virtual Mini Challenge 2012 champion. Unfamiliar with TPS. Touring Pro Series runs an assortment of leagues, all touring cards. And the Virtual Mini Challenge has seen 4 championships. Wiesenmuller has won 1 of those, and that was back in 2012. Rhys Gardner, ahead of us, has competed in the now inactive American Touring Car Championship and various others as well, V8 Supercars, Virtual Touring Masters, and now in the Virtual Supercars. In fact, he's also taken part in the Virtual Mini Challenge as well. Has never won a race.
Oh, have you, I just know that John Monroe did a 1:11.2 on that lap when he kicked Ryan out of the final.
Yeah, beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, Davis is off a little bit here. Oh, look at Wiesenmuller going to look down the inside.
Always squeezing. And through he goes just about and makes a position up. So Wiesenmuller is up to 5th and he'll have his sights set on Giuseppe Ranieri. Yep. Remember though, these pit stops in British touring cars back in 1998 were famed for their botchedness. Botchedness? Famed for how badly they went on occasion. So and, that is a possibility.
Was it possibly because they were drinking? Possibly because I do know that they have mandatory breathalyzers now in the BTCC.
That's not funny, Keith.
Hey, they have it is an actual rule in BTCC. They do breathalyzers in the morning at the track. Yeah. I wonder if we should get into that. No. But it's see, the hard part is now with this track, you seem to always be up on the wheel here. You don't want to make that mistake of leaving repair damages on, as you end up with a 40-some-odd second pit stop. They're still not
pass for the lead. Pass for the lead, Keith.
Oh, and he's through. Oh, okay, Davis to the lead at a 1:11.5.
Oh,
so
not going to see the.
Must have made a small mistake.
No, it was at the chicane. Right behind was Davis, and he outbraked him to the chicane. Looks like one of the Optimum cars has pitted. Likely to be Auckland. It is Auckland. It was there back in 32nd. Can't quite see the number. Just out of shot there. But it's a red car. It's either Cervic or Auckland, and Cervic is oh, that's your Cervic's not much further up. There, 93. There we go. So it is Auckland. He has pitted then. One would presume. I hope he's pitted anyway for his sake. Chris Butcher is also pitted as well. So he's charging on, soldiering on at the moment. Unlikely to get points from that position though. But there's only another race to go with his sprint race. It's only 30 positions to make up to get points. So he's got a possibility at least. And McNaughton is back in 25th at the moment. I think he may have also made a pit stop. Let's have a look here. He's making his way back through the field. He's just gone around Stefan Kosovec. There is a button for pit stops. I can't remember what it is, Keith. Can you remind me?
I cannot remember myself.
Oh. Sure there was a button for it. That's not definitely the button. Anyway, we'll have to deal with that. Davis is leading this race then.
I will go find out, sir.
Oh, now he's lapping Auckland. They caught up to him quickly. Goodness me. They still haven't pitted. So lap 18, nobody's pitted at the moment. Oh, well, look at that. Monroe had to round up Auckland on the outside there. Goodness me, that was scary stuff. Yunt, I think, has pitted. There he is. He's dropping back down the field. He's in the air of the track. You expect. There he is. He's coming out of the pits now. Look at those lines coming out of the pits. He's really mashed the throttle coming out of there. Anyone else is in the pits there? That is Navarro in the pits as well. So Navarro pits. So here we go, Keith. You're going to have a flurry here because on lap 19 next time around. And that's halfway point, of course.
Yep, and that's right around the time we're going to start seeing some fireworks. Right around the time.
So make a mental note about where people are on track right now. Where your favourite driver is. Gardner has lost position to Gazella, by the way. And he's dropped back down to 7th now as a result. Wiesenmuller is gaining on Ranieri, but not exactly hand over fist. In the background there, Lauritsen put in a lap on Madazewski, on Ockerklint, who's gone wide. Out of the pits comes Navarro. He pitted ages ago.
Oh!
He's obviously had a difficult go there. And he come right down in front of the leaders.
Davis got right sideways there, and it got
did.
John Monroe's right on his bumper now. I guess he's seen him come out of the pits and locked up.
Davis just about got away with that mistake. That was close to being disaster for Davis as Navarro exited the pits right in front of them. Navarro's had a terrible stop, by the way. Not quite sure what's happened to him. Maybe he forgot to turn off repair damage or change all 4 tyres by accident. I'm not quite sure. But he was in the pits a long time ago. De Vries a 13.7 second pit stop. So that's about the right amount of time for him. Allington as well, 13.2. So on the right side, they can see the pit stops start to build up for you.
Yeah.
Will they pit this time around, Keith? Would you? If you were Monroe, I'd pit right now.
Yeah.
If you were Monroe, I'd pit right now? If I were Monroe, should I say?
Yeah. I'm just agreeing with you because you're making no sense. If you were Monroe, you would have pitted. Right now.
Yes, I would pit right now. But he's not pitting.
Then he's not you.
He's not me.
Concluded that that John Monroe is not you.
He's a different person to me.
He is a completely different person.
Never seen before in the same room together.
That's
but
right.
He's definitely a different person.
Definitely.
Ranieri has pitted.
Ranieri. He's in. Oh. So okay. So I would.
Not so many actually. Some people will be probably pitting.
Long pit stop for Ranieri.
It's 13.6. That's fine. Just about got away with it. Thought maybe it was.
Did he take 2 tires or 4?
4 tires, about 22, 24 seconds.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Ranieri comes out of the pits now then. He's in 12th at the moment. Remember, he pitted from 4th. He was ahead of Wiesenmuller, not far off Lauritsen. Because a couple of seconds away from Lauritsen. So we'll see the gaps for those guys as well. Olsen and Madazewski have pitted.
Oh, you know what? I actually think that Davis and Monroe will wait to the very last to pit. The reason being is that they will not end up in traffic and will limit the amount of racing they have to do with other cars.
Well, make your mind up.
Well, no, I actually, the logic just came into my head right now. I think it's lack of food, definitely hungry. But the...
what are you talking about? You had like a rotten lettuce sandwich a second ago.
It was a good rotten lettuce sandwich.
Poor Keith was eating decayed lettuce earlier because he was so hungry.
it was okay. I cooled it off by leaving it outside in the minus 15 right now. But the idea would be
Monroe's pitted, by the way.
Has he? Okay,
yes.
So Monroe's pitted. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Albert's in the pit as well. There goes Monroe. Had 14.2 second pit stop, so a little bit slower than a couple of people around him. Let's see him come out. There is Ranieri in the background. See, he's in 9th spot. And he was around about 4 seconds off Monroe before the pit stops. Let's see what the gap is here. It looks around about the same. Let's see what it is as they cross the sector line for the first time on this lap. Ranieri had a very solid run this time around.
Last lap too.
Fantastic lap time, really is. And Ranieri now, the gap is still, it's 3.8. So he's gained very slightly, but definitely not enough to worry Monroe at this point.
No.
Go back to the lead. Will Davis pit? No.
Davis
carries on.
No. Well, when he's doing 111.2s, why would he even bother pitting now?
Absolutely no point at all. Unless he doesn't, unless you pit too late and ruin the balance of your car, of course. Oh, Lauritsen, goodness me. Well, that's one way of getting it stopped.
Hey there.
And right in behind him comes Gazella as well. Only just got in there. Will Lauritsen get out? He does get out. And there goes Richard. That was beautifully timed. Let's watch that on the replay. On board with Richards.
My heart just skipped a beat there.
The skip to beat. Ranieri fastest lap of the race. Goodness me, where's that pace come from? Here comes Richards into the pits. There is 2 people ahead of him. Sorry, we'll go to a better camera view, shall we? There we go.
Oh,
that was beautiful. Look at that. That was nowhere near. He's miles away from contact.
It was the camera view. Just leave me be.
Richards now comes out of the pits. I didn't see what
oh my God,
look at
this.
Look at the traffic. Oh my goodness me. And it's headed by David Yunt. He's not been involved in very much action today, has he?
No, not at all.
Oh, and his good friend Oscar Harwick is in behind him. I know where they get along. As does De Vries and Harwick.
do you know something? So Reese Gardner is at 13.3 seconds back. Reese Gardner, has he pitted? You know, he has not. He has not pitted. No.
No.
Neither is Mike Bell. John Monroe is the leader.
The first of the pits, yeah.
Pitted? Yes. Yeah. Gotcha.
I think everybody's pitted apart from those 2, actually. This is getting very interesting indeed.
Oh, those 4. The top 4 have not pitted yet.
Oh, sorry, the top 4, should I say? Yeah, sorry. So Davis, will he pit this time around? Let's check in with him.
You know, 1:11.4 last lap.
No, but Wiesenmuller did pit, and out of the pits is coming. There he goes.
Oh, where is he going to slot in? Oh, he's going to slot right into that mess of cars, isn't he? Ranieri down to a 1:11.1, closing in.
Wiesenmuller's come out ahead of Gazella. So that's how it was before the pit stop. So that's all status quo for him at least. Gardner comes out behind Gazella. That's how it was before. But he's lost ground in Gazella. That's no doubt about that. Look at that big gap now.
Oh,
it's only about a second guy. And he might get caught by this gaggle if he doesn't get a hurry up.
The gaggle of cars.
And we've actually, I think we got Chris Butcher involved in this, a lap down. There he is. You'll see him behind Oscar Harwick. He's going just as fast as these guys, of course, even with that damage to the front end of his car. But Harwick has lost ground to De Vries and Yunt here. And now De Vries, it's his turn to try and find his way past the Swiss mobile chicane.
He's got the outside here.
Oh, that's a beautiful move. If Yunt gives him some room to make it. Wow. Yunt just about did. Now De Vries has the outside, of course, though, for Kopp. It's not going to work there. Yunt jumps over the curb. Here comes Richards down the inside of De Vries. De Vries did a great move, didn't quite work out, and he's paid the penalty because Richards is down there. Oh, hello. Hello. Well, choose. Who wants to go where? Richards decides, hey, and he's backing out of that. De Vries slots back in once again, and it's status. How was that status quo in the end, Keith?
It wasn't. It's Callan logic. Toby still has not pitted. He's a 1:11.6, so he is actually losing a significant amount of time now at this point, and that is actually going to put John Monroe in a fairly favorable position after the cycle's done.
Surely he'll pit this time around. I think he must pit this time around. That's a bit too much.
He's got to notice that gap.
Ranieri's only 0.7 behind Lauritsen, by the way.
Oh, he's flying. Ranieri's flying. He's done 1:11.1s the last 2 laps.
I don't know what tires he put on.
Into the pits.
Yep, there we go.
See if he doesn't wreck the car. Don't hit anything. Don't run over your pit crew. Hold it together. Keep it together.
Here comes Monroe. And Monroe coming down Starkey Straight into the braking zone for the 24th time of 38 laps.
Yes.
And he wasn't far behind Davis before the pit stops. Remember, it was
nice and clean
less than a second. Where is Davis? Look to the right-hand side. Look to the right-hand side. Oh, no, Davis has changed all 4 tyres. Davis has changed all 4 tyres. So he has dropped way back. Here comes Wiesenmuller through.
I think that was a mistake.
Gazella through. Yes, it is a big mistake.
I think it was an accident. He didn't do it on purpose.
It is a mistake, absolutely.
Yep. It doesn't matter how many times you can make these mistakes, it still happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's we can talk about it here, but I know that I could very well make that mistake. You can do it. It just happens sometimes, and you're like, oh, you just face palm.
Yeah, and you just sat there. You can't do anything about it at all.
No,
you just sat there.
Yep.
And Davis now, well, this is interesting because Monroe has got a 3-second lead. Ranieri is right in behind Lauritsen. Where has his pace come from Ranieri? He is absolutely stoking at the moment.
Yes, he is.
He is shoveling that coal and that fire.
Yep. Burn, baby, burn, burn.
He needs to get past Lauritsen quickly if he wants to have a go at Monroe, though. What you would feel, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He's going for a move. That is ambitious. And not going to work. Lauritsen holds his ground.
Yeah, Lauritsen's very calm under pressure. I've noticed that as he's gotten older and more mature. Definitely can handle the pressure behind him. In his early years in TPS, there was a lot of, I would say, random incidents that came when pressure was involved, either from trying to pass someone or get by, and the famous one would be Road America behind Francisco Villar. They were just gone, and he got into the back of him, and he's really come a long way. But that comes definitely with maturity for sure. But this
some different speeds in this second half of the race, you know, Keith, with these new tyres.
For sure. Like
Matt Richards is just on the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah. John Monroe 1:11.3. Lauritsen has slowed.
No! Oh, Demelin! Oh, he almost took out Wiesenmüller then. That was heart-stopping.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh.
Wiesenmüller almost taken out by the back marker, Łukasz Demelin.
He did a hell of a job keeping it together after the contact, because that could send you off so easy.
Oh, goodness me. Oh,
incredibly helped by Wiesenmüller. Amazing. But that now has Gazella closing in a little bit, but Davis is right on the back of Gazella.
Yeah, it's a half a second as a gap now. It was a second over the line last time around, so Davis has gained a half a second.
Yes.
And one would think, by that logic, he'd be right on his back bumper by the end of this lap.
Hey, Thomas Menezevsky's up to 15th.
Back up to 15th. He did qualify okay and dropped back to 19th at one point, so he's having a strong second part of this race. There's the rest of the field for you. Butcher down in 31st. He has made one position up at least. Goodness me, that's... Oh, and Davis is off the track. He's losing his head a little bit here, making mistakes, Keith. You cannot allow mistakes to pile up. Mistakes stacked up on top of one another is very easy to do. That was really hard to say. Sorry about that.
Mistakes stacked up one on top of the other is very easy to do.
It's easy for one mistake to lead to another. There we go. That's a bit easier to say.
Yes,
and it's a key skill to make sure if you make one mistake, don't make more.
No.
Goodness sake.
That's really sound advice. So if you make a mistake, don't make more mistakes. Callan, captain of the obvious.
The last time we won a race in TPS, Keith.
Oh, let's just watch the race. So back up front. What do we have up?
Get off the camera controls. It's John Monroe back up front. He's leading by 2.5 seconds from Lauritsen, who has gained in the past couple of laps by half a second. But there's 10 laps to go, so that's interesting. Lauritsen just lapped Kosselbeck there. So Kosselbeck right in between him and Ranieri. I think Ranieri is running his tyres off because he is falling back from Lauritsen. He tried very, very hard, but it wasn't enough. Oh, there's some smoke in the background there. Oh, that was I think Van der Woede just getting out of the way of Wiesenmüller, who was lapping him. And he probably appreciated that more than the Demelin scare.
Yes.
Goodness me, I think he may need a change of pants.
Yes.
After this race.
I'm going to need two front tires and a clean pair of shorts. But that group there that was led by Yunt is still fairly close.
It's the same people still.
It is, yeah.
What are they doing?
It's very good. It's very good. But
Why do they like each other? Why are they so close together on the track? It's well known these guys are not getting on at all.
Gardner really needs to keep his head down, try to get away from this because he does not want to get brought into this battle.
He's doing really well. The 7th spot is great at the moment. He fell away at the end of the first stint as the tyres wore away, but apart from that, it's been fantastic. And Yunt is still just all I ever see is Yunt driving down the inside of the track at the moment. He's under huge pressure and doing very well to hold on to that 8th spot.
Yeah, super defensive, but
Yunt train.
Oh, look at that. John Monroe, 1:11.1 after the pit stop.
Yeah, but Lauritsen is matching him, look. Still 2.4, the gap. So if Monroe makes a mistake, Lauritsen's going to get him.
So it seems the early pit stop will get... I'm wondering if they went with fronts.
From the way that the tyres wore, I think most people were saying they had to take fronts just because the rears weren't wearing that much. And even though less gives you enough balance, if you just set the car up... I remember the first time I ever did a feature race like this sort of one with mandatory pit stop was back when SDCC came out with expansion for Race 07. And that came up with mandatory pit stops, and we had them. It was fantastic. And the first race we did was at this track, in fact, actually. I don't know if it's on this layout, but it was definitely at Donington Park. And everyone changed fronts, of course, because the ones that David Davis goes fastest off the race. We're checking with him, keeping an eye on him while we talk. And everyone changed front because we thought, oh, the fronts were the most, we'll just change them. Yeah. Holy oversteer after the pit stop. Goodness me. Because you've never done it before, of course, you don't know what to expect. Everybody was silent, especially to hear the old hairpin. Goodness me. You're looking at the bridge. through your side window.
What? I think I was in that race.
And, well, it was actually Junkadea was in that race.
Yes, Daniel, yeah.
Daniel Junkadea, and he blew everyone away. And he wasn't sliding everywhere. This is Junkadea, who's now in DTM, by the way, guys. This is a hallowed company with, me and Keith used to hang out with,
Yes, Daniel Junkadea.
Cool kids. And he's won the Euro Series F3 in real life. He's in the DTM, is the Touring Car Championship. And we asked him, well, how are you so quick? Oh, I just built in a little bit of understeer to the setup. Yep. Seems so obvious, and he's just so casual about it. But that was my first experience of feature racing.
Well, these naturally front-wheel drive cars in rFactor are very understeered. So I actually can see how these fast laps are coming out because the fuel's now low. They've all of a sudden got a ton of front grip with front tires, so they definitely went with fronts.
Well, it probably actually helps because the rear tires are now worn a bit more, which gives you a bit more oversteer. Which probably, because they had too much understeer before. And of course, remember as well, guys, we were racing, just in club events, casual events where we didn't put any effort at all into the setup. Oh, and hello, Davis off the track again. That is a huge off. That is a huge off. What on earth is going on? Because he is not going to do very well in this championship if he keeps doing things like that. And this is the thing that blighted him in Virtual Touring Masters. Amazing pace, wins a race, next race, makes mistakes and loses ground in the championship.
Wow.
And this is a guy who believes in the championship at the moment, John Munro.
Yeah.
He's first and third at the moment if he stays where he is. Although Lawrence did have 2 seconds. That actually, I can't work that in my head if that's better.
Yeah, let's see.
No, it's not.
Lawrence is closing, and there's enough laps.
Yeah, 1.8 seconds the gap. What's the gap now? Looks about the same, doesn't it?
No, it looks closer.
Fastest lap of the race.
Yes.
Lawrence
Lawrence is on a heater.
He's on a heater.
Never interrupt a man on a heater.
Oh, just everyone ignore Keith. That's his new phrase.
I love heaters.
Only when you're cold.
Yes.
But look at this battle up ahead of actually John Munro for the minor positions. You've got Navarro. I think that's Carter. Ockerclint back there. Let's have a quick look. It is indeed Navarro, Carter, and Ockerclint. There we are for 23rd spot. And they're nose to tail. And this won't be happy viewing for Munro, quite frankly, because they won't be looking in their mirror.
No.
They'll be busy fighting with each other. Look at this side by side, dipping out, defending, pretending to attack. Classic touring car racing.
Classic.
Navarro, of course, is his teammate, so he should be fully aware. But will Carter and Ockerclint be fully aware? Because Carter has got the eyes on it. So I can't actually go towards that particular battle without going through all kinds of cars. So apologies for that. You have to watch it kind of in the foreground. Yes. And here we go. Here goes Munro, right in behind Navarro. Goodness me, almost contact. And what else will happen here? Carter's not paying attention to his mirrors. He's attacking Ockerclint down the inside, of course. This is Ockerclint. This is Lawrence's chance. And there goes Carter. So Carter does a good job of getting out of the way. Remember, these guys are all in their own race, so it's difficult for them to just look in their mirrors and look ahead of them. Everyone's favourite back marker, Ockerclint, is now ahead of Munro. Remember, Munro had to overtake Ockerclint around the outside of the Craner curbs last time he lapped him in this race.
Oh, look at this. What? This is insanity.
And now on the inside here, it's just dangerous stuff, Keith. Goodness me.
But he's pulling away from Lawrenson.
That's a good job there from Ockerclint, actually. Well out of the way. And now Navarro and Carter are side by side, blocking Ockerclint. Lawrenson. I'm going to say Ockerclint a lot of the moment. Blocking Lawrenson. And now out of the way goes Navarro. Here comes now Lawrenson on Carter. Ockerclint has made a small mistake. Carter gets out of the way. Ockerclint is the next one in Lawrenson's sights. These guys are doing very well not losing the positions while letting the leaders through, quite frankly. It's a difficult job to do. Round the outside goes Lawrenson. He's through. What's the gap going to be at that line? Oh, sideways there from Carter. Gets a nudge from Navarro. It's Ranieri's turn to get involved in the action. It's never-ending train of back markers and front runners.
Hey, but they're having a blast fighting here, but it shows great car control from all of them to keep it all together. It's very hard to maintain racing while you have someone that's putting you down.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's very, you got to give credit there because you're in the middle of a heated battle and you're not thinking about anything else outside, and then all of a sudden you have to put it just a bit to the side and then think about what's coming. But Lawrenson's now made his way through that group.
And he's gained overall during that,
But he's lost a lot of time here.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of time to catch up more, hasn't he? Yeah, 1.6 seconds is the gap. He's gaining.
Yes.
He looks more solid than Monroe as
He
well.
looks really good right now. Monroe's at a 1:11.3. Did Lawrenson pit later than Monroe? Yes. Did he? Yes, I think he did.
It was around about the same time. It was no more than a lap difference, I don't think. So I don't think it's going to make too much difference in the end. 1.5 now the gap, so he's gaining a 10th sector at the moment. And how many sectors are left? There's 12 sectors left. A 10th sector is not enough. He needs to get more. What's the gap?
Oh, he's close.
1.5 still 1.5. And yeah, he's still stuck in behind this Carter-Ockerton battle, which is raging on, by the way. Look at this. Carter trying to find his way past that massive Volvo.
David Yunt's finally been passed. Richards and DeVries have gotten by him.
They've finally released the cork out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Where is Oscar Hardwick gone? He was right there, and he has DNF in 32nd spot.
Oh.
So Hardwick out of the race. So he's not had a happy start to his VST campaign.
No.
Wiesenmuller is still in that 4th spot. It's a very lonely 4th spot. I would have thought he would have caught Ranieri actually by now. 1.5 seconds the gap. Oh, it was 1.5 seconds. It might be a bit less now. Looks like that to me. There's Ranieri. In the red car, behind Ranieri, is Wiesenmuller, separated by the lap car of Navarro. I think Navarro has passed Carter. Oh, Carter's gone. Where has Carter gone? Carter has disappeared from our pictures there.
Oh, no.
Back in 25th, so he's made a big mistake somewhere while fighting with Ockerclint. And we were just praising everyone for doing so well to stay on track while being lapped and racing at the same time, and unfortunately Carter has come a cropper. Now the race at Hardwick, Cervic, Bogusch and Straub. Straub didn't even make the start of the race, I don't think. Bogusch, a mystery pit stop and then back to the pits, and obviously an accident for Cervic, and don't know what happened to Hardwick. Davis isn't far off Gazella.
No, Lawrenson's losing a little bit on Monroe now too.
It's just keeping status quo, isn't it? It's not enough. Oh, goodness me! What on earth has Wiesenmuller done to deserve the back markers he's had today? Look at this. What has he done? Has he been walking black cats through? Oh, I see. Here's what happened. Ranieri down the inside of everyone's favourite back marker, Ockerclint. And, oh, that is great judgment from Wiesenmuller. Goodness me. I'm not sure what Wiesenmuller has done to deserve that today.
He's held it together, though.
He has.
He's not closing enough. Richards and DeVries are very, very tight. Yunt has lost the back of them slightly. McNaughton has made a bit of a comeback up to 11th after having a terrible start to this. We're on the 37th lap, penultimate lap now.
We are. And it looks like Monroe's got this wrapped up at the moment. Davis is 0.8 behind Gazella. Doesn't look like he'll make a move. We've got two THR cars. Two THR cars chasing what racing cars. And into the corner goes here. And Ockerclint's been sent off the track. Oh my goodness, that's a big, big accident for Jonathan Ockerclint. Off the track he goes, spinning in the background there. Goodness me.
Was there contact with Davis?
Contact with Toby Davis. There was contact with Toby Davis. Absolutely. Let's watch that on the replay. Ockerclint now going down the crane of curves. Catches Toby out. Goes wide there. And contact between the two. Ockerclint just never gets out of the way when he's being lapped at all. Just doesn't have a clue, unfortunately, most of the time. And that makes Davis goes wide as well onto the grass. And there is the spinning Volvo in the background of Ockerclint. Hopefully he got started once again.
Well, I think
that hasn't cost him any point per position at least.
I haven't seen Monroe really turn a wheel wrong here with his lap times. Lawrenson isn't going to have enough time as Monroe starts the final lap of this second race of the first event of this inaugural season of the Virtual Super Tours. But a very good race for him. We've seen a little bit of stake from Davis, but Monroe looking very good to take this win here.
Yeah, remember, Monroe was right behind Davis with those pit stops, and he had been ahead of him, so it wasn't like Davis was a foregone conclusion, anything like that, to take this win, and he's been gifted to Monroe. Monroe has not made the mistake. Davis has made at least 5 from what I can see. But Monroe has been flawless here today. Really, really solid. Took a podium in the first race, a 3rd spot. Going to take a win here as well. It's going to be a pair of 2nd spots for Alexander Lauritsen, and a 1st and a 6th for Toby Davis. That's epitomises Toby Davis, doesn't it, really, Keith?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, just something as simple as your selection for your pit stop can throw a whole wrench into your entire plans. But Giuseppe Ranieri sitting there in third for a very good debut here. But John Munro taking the plaudits and the second race win here, the feature win at Donington. So, very well done.
Fantastic stuff. As Lauritsen comes across second, Ranieri third on his TBS debut, gets a podium there. That's a much better race there from Ranieri. Wiesenmuller couldn't catch up to him. In fact, Ranieri had more pace at the end of the race. Gazella in fifth, Davis in sixth after his much storied troubles. Reese Gardiner with a fantastic 7th place here, backing up that good qualifying with 8-spot Richards, De Vries, Yunt, McNaughton. The Richards, De Vries and Yunt, the 3 musketeers back there. Yes. Not that I don't think they're very good friends though. Olsen, Madazewski, Allington, Hinz, Bell and McGlade. Look at that across the line. Goodness me. They all came across the line there all together. With Tapper in 18th spot. And who's going to take the final points paying position? Looks like Amaral in the background there, crossing the line ahead of Ben Hackerson. So Amaral crosses the line in 19th, and Hackerson, the final points paying position driver, in 20th. The rest of the field comes flying through. Remember, we had 35 drivers in both races. A big grid here today. We'll be back in a few moments' time with some thoughts, final thoughts from Keith, and then we'll have the driver interviews hosted by myself.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number 1 on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello and welcome back to the Virtual Super Tourers. 2 very interesting races here today for the inaugural event of this championship. And Keith is going to lend us his thoughts on what happened today.
It's snowing outside. No, it was a fantastic race, both of these races. But what we did see is what we talked about early on in the feature race, that there are possibilities to make mistakes. It adds another level, and you see mistakes coming from different people. But race 1, the sprint, flawless race for Toby. So I think that what you'll see is that's kind of going to be the way things are going to go through the season, is that the sprint is going to kind of favor that quick pace, get out front and be gone. And race 2 is going to be about composure, keeping it together. So I'm really excited to see how the rest of the season plays out. Great finishes from all these guys. Nice to see some new faces, and I do look forward to commentating in 2 weeks' time. But I need to get driving because I am faced with a severe snowstorm. So all the drivers, well done today, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, Keith, for joining me today. And we're going to now get the thoughts of the drivers and see what they thought of what happened in these races today and their opinions and feelings that go with that. First of all, we're going to start off with the winner of race 1, and that is Toby Davis. Toby, fantastic performance in that race 1. Bit of a boring run really for you in race 1. Just took the lead at the start and led away.
Yeah, sometimes it does happen that way. It was a little bit boring race 1, to be honest, but yeah, it was just about getting the start right. I knew it would be, and then for some reason Ranieri pitted. I assume he must have jumped the start, so which I didn't see. I didn't see him do that, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, led from the front then, and just kept the pace at the right level.
Now, race 2, a bit more complicated. Talk us through what happened there.
I'm just an idiot, to be honest. Race wrongly thought that the 4 tyres, I didn't read them properly, were front left, front right, rear left, rear right. I didn't realise they were front, rear, and then left and right, and you can only change 2 tyres at a time depending on which ones you choose. So that's what happened. So I accidentally chose 4 tyres, and yeah.
So Toby Davis reading the race briefing for the win. Obviously, from then on, you made quite a few mistakes, though. You didn't make the progress through the field. Why was that? A bit rattled by the mistake, or?
Yeah, just annoyed with myself, to be honest. It's easy when you're in front and you can just cruise around doing nothing, and not so easy when you have to make progress, particularly after you've made your own mistake that is really frustrating. So, yeah, entirely my own fault.
So, obviously, that kind of epitomises what's been happening in your TPS career recently, with a great win followed up by mistakes and a so-so finish by your standards. What do you think you can do to eliminate this going forward? Because obviously, that's not great for a championship charge.
No, but I don't know. I mean, are the standings ready?
No, the standings not ready. Goodness me.
I thought they might be.
Not Superman.
Well, we'll see about that. But yeah, okay. Well, I don't know what the championship standings are, but hopefully we can do something over the next few rounds. I've just got to make sure I keep the pace up. I did a lot of practice for Donington. Just so happened I was able to. Don't know about the next couple of weeks. Got a lot going on at the minute, so we'll see.
Alton Park is a square, so that'll be absolutely fine.
It does help. I know all of these tracks from previous seasons and real life, so
yeah, of course, that's always a big help. So good luck in the rest of the season, Toby, and congratulations on your race 1 win today. That you always remembered as the first driver to win a race in the Virtual Super Tourers. The person who will be remembered to win the second race in Virtual Super Tourers and his first race in a front-wheel drive car for himself was John Monroe. Fantastic win for you in that second race, John. But the first race, it went okay for you. You were challenged for that second spot, but we didn't quite catch what happened to you when you lost that second spot.
Well, yeah, I was pushing to try and catch Toby. I think our ultimate pace was quite similar. So I was on the ragged edge just trying to close the gap, managed to get it down to about 7/10, and then just pushing that bit too hard, made a slight mistake at Old Hairpin, which put me onto the grass, and Alex got through then. And it was just then a case of follow Alex, maybe try and get past, but I was a bit scruffy towards the end, so that kind of lost the chance of second. But no, it's really still delighted with the result. It was a solid first race.
And then in race 2, you took full advantage of the fact that Toby made a mistake in the pit stop. You might have won the race anyway with the pace you were showing, right behind Toby up until that first pit stop. And you managed to hold off Alex, and now you lead the championship.
Yeah, it's all a bit of a surprise, really. It's kind of new to me, but no, it was a fantastic race. I think me and Toby were just sitting there, both running just a bit off our ultimate pace, keeping the rhythm going, and Alex was following in behind. And then every time me or Toby made a slight mistake, we just kind of swapped positions, but it was pretty equal, to be honest. And then come to the pit stops, Toby, as you say, made the mistake, and it was all down to me from there, really. I did get a bit nervous towards the end with Alex closing in, and a lot of back markers I felt were, maybe pushing the boundaries a little bit, or having to, make moves down the inside instead of, being given the position. But that's racing, and it's one part of it, and of course it's equal to everyone else. So yeah, no, just delighted with that one.
Well, congratulations on leading the championship. Congratulations on your second win at TouringProSeries, and your first in the front-wheel drive. You've threatened it ever since your debut back in Virtual Clio Season 3, and now you've done it. And congratulations for that. So now we're going to talk to a third THR guy for the final thoughts from THR, and that is Chris Butcher, who was involved in 2 very big incidents in both races. Talk us through what happened in that first race, Chris. It looked like you got nerfed off by Olsen from the replay. We weren't quite sure.
I'm not really sure myself, to be honest. It's a bit difficult to tell. I had a look at my replay, and it looked like I'm going to butcher some names here, so I apologise. But
fitting.
It looked like Matt tried to dive down the inside of is it Bogus? Is that how he says his name?
Bogush,
no
yes.
But yeah, and just got it, just misjudged it slightly, tapped him, who went into the back of Olsen, I think. I'm not sure. This is how I think it happened. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, exactly. And if it had been anywhere else, we might have got away with it. But in that turn, the rear end of the car is just completely unloaded. nothing I could do really, to be honest with you. But at least I managed a first in something, which was being the first person to DNF from this series again, like I managed it in WTF.
Well,
so.
you can't be quite, it's you can't be outshone by your THR teammates, of course. So you had to do something.
You've got to be a first in something.
Second race, goodness me, that was a big incident with Yuns.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and see what happened there, but was it De Vries we were battling with?
Yes, I think so.
And he had a par exit from turn one, which slowed Yunt down a bit as well. So I thought I'd be the opportunist and go down the inside. And I don't know whether he knew I was there or not, but it felt like to me he turned in on me a little bit. That was quite big contact going down there, but managed to keep hold of it. And I knew he was going across the grass. I just didn't know what really was going to happen when he rejoined the track, and he seemed to rejoin the track in mid-air. It looked like from my car, and when he landed, it was unfortunately on the racing line. I had to brake quite heavily and swerve to avoid it, and I think I got a tap from behind, and that sealed my fate really.
It did. Obviously, props to you for keeping going. Unfortunately, you couldn't get into the pits the first time around. Because you were being passed, so unfortunate. Lucky today, Chris. Hopefully you have better luck at the weekend in VCC and in the next round at Alton Park. Now, I also wanted to speak to Rhys Gardner. Rhys, we'll gloss over race 1 because now to talk about that, of course. We'll talk about race 2. Fantastic stuff qualifying on that front row.
My goodness, my jaw dropped when I saw that time. I can't believe I managed to do that. I'm lost for words. How did I manage to do a 110 when I've been struggling to get below like a mid 111 for the whole time that Donington's been available to practice on? I'm really, really happy with that.
Well, whatever it is you were taking at the time, bottle it and sell it because you can make a fortune. It was a fantastic effort. And in the race as well, you completely held your own, didn't fall back massively in the slightest, and came away with a fantastic 7th spot.
Yeah, I know. I'm really, really happy with my performance in race 2. Race 1, I think I'll just forget about and drown my sorrows in something of a vice. But yeah, race 2, I think I'll remember for a long time. I mean, I think it's shown that I have got the pace in this series to do pretty good things, and I'm just over the moon right now.
Fantastic. That's good to hear, Rhys. And Keith was very pleased as well. He'll be no doubt unsurprised to hear. So congratulations on that great race 2 result, Rhys. Hopefully you're building that as we go to Alton Park next time in 2 weeks. Finally, on the interview list, we're going to speak to Michael Bell, if he can speak, because I wanted to just... I'm hoping he's still actually got this horrible sore throat. Mike, have you still got the sore throat?
Left.
He has some voice left. Okay, so this guy has been really, really ill the last few days, like you would not believe, and has soldiered on to make sure he could be here and race today, and he came away with some solid results, Mike.
Yeah, it didn't go too bad. I need to work on the race pace, because I got left behind a bit in race 2 by the group of people I was battling with, but on the whole, impressed, all things considered.
Fantastic. And how was your illness during the races?
Well, end of race, or second half of race 2, I pretty much couldn't stop coughing and spluttering. It was almost a joy that my headset fell off so the team didn't have to listen to it.
That's good stuff. So, well done for soldiering through the illness here today, and some solid results to go with that. And good luck in the rest of the season, and Alton Park will be 2 weeks' time.
Yep, thanks.
So that wraps up the interviews here today. We'd love to interview everybody, but we can't do that. We'll be here forever. If you want to catch up on people's thoughts on the race, you can always visit our forum, of course, which is TouringProSeries.com/forum. If you're watching on Twitch right now, make sure you press the bloody follow button. That is in order. And make sure you tune in on Saturday in the early evening for Virtual Carrera Cup live once again. We're going to have John Monroe and the expert analysis of Robert Wiesenmuller on commentary there from Sandown. Now, it is in Melbourne, Sandown, the most unpredictable of all weather in Australia, so we might see some rain in that race. You have to tune in to find out. Anyway, thank you to the drivers for entertaining us here today, and thank you to everyone for watching. Take it easy.